handedly, yeah, there it is, for a good reason, because I feel like I started to be a big believer in this hero. And what makes this hero super strong is like having the flexibility between position 1 and position 2, plus also the Aghanim Scepter build even from the carry role, because you go for the Maelstrom, you pick up Boots of Travel, you go back to Aghanim Scepter, which is like this item has pretty insane numbers when you think about it. It's 35% magic resistance, it's 35% spell amp, unobstructed vision for 7 seconds on 25-second cooldown, so lets you position really well in team fights, plus also gives you ability to be super tanky, one of the reasons, plus the level 15 talent as well.
And you know, I was looking at also the coach names, and it really brings me back, because like Yao was like one of the Chinese living legends. Is like people kind of forget about him, but he's really the equivalent of Jiao 8 in a sense. Like he did as much for like the Dota scene and the Chinese Dota scene in particular. And you know, you have AUI on one side, which you know, people are maybe a little bit more familiar with because, you know, they won so many titles and he's been highlighted a lot. There's like the same amount of experience and Dota knowledge on the other side, and I just love to see these two great Dota minds, you know, with 5 exceptional players at their service, in a sense, battling it out. You love to see it.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes we don't mention some of the coaches because players outshine them, like people talk about, you know, Yandex, their coach as well, putting in quite a lot of work. Considering the results that they've been having, and Clockwork on the other side, this hero has always been good against Lina, maybe not so much nowadays with that Aghanim Scepter as well, with the unobstructed movement that you don't care too much about the Clockwork, but Clockwork has looked very stable in every single game, very annoying hero that can block off certain areas, very annoying to lane against. We were trying to get rid of like mana burn as a concept, you know, some of the spells like that mana, like a snake from Medusa, for example, mana burn initially on a Nyx Assassin, but having Clockwork, like burning your mana, especially in some of these early engagements, can be very devastating, and I'm a big fan of this combo. The Snapfire plus Clockwork, you have kill throughout the whole game. Like with these two hero pairings, like you can make 2 moves on the map pretty much, because these 2 heroes are gonna kill any hero.
Yeah, it's a great combo. They've run it a lot. Like, a few things to say that I think are worth noting is, well, Falcons, first of all, is one of the Lina teams, actually. We haven't seen them play it, but Mandarin is a level 30 Lina player, like one of his best heroes, actually, so he would know what he wants against it. So I'm sure that, you know, they talked about this Lina, they saw it coming, and they're going to propose something against it. You mentioned the Clockwork. I think, true that the cog interaction is not as good, but at least he has the jetpack, which is like, it can be very useful against Lina, especially if they build Aghanims. It becomes really hard to catch, right? They're flying over trees. You lose.
Yeah, both of them are flying.
Yeah, right. And now they're both flying, but Clock's going to have vision of Lina.
Yes.
They're going to play their own game, but at least, you know, he's going to be able to track her down. So that's like a good tool to have. I want to mention the Undying ban also. I think it seems to be, you know, one of the top, you know, +5 and +3 actually heroes of the tournament. We've seen Yandex dominate with it yesterday, and Snaking is maybe the second player to be using it as much. You know, like Falcons, they've played a lot of Undying, and it's their go-to. So pretty good of Vici to not let them get their hands on it.
Yeah, Undying, like we've seen some good performances yesterday. Malady as well. He kind of owned like even Yatoro gave him credit saying that he's going to be the scaling, like for pretty much scaling cores in that game, and he did with the Heart, with the Blade Mail build. So many different ways to build that hero. And on the other side, Mirana plus Tusk, so having an extra bit of a save. Mirana, like we've seen the hero do really well from position 5, even some position 4 performances.
Sure, this is considered a 4 though, with Zincu Mirana.
I mean, it could be. I think it, like, technically it's still open. If the Lina goes safe lane, most likely the Tusk is going to lane with her, which would send the Mirana position 4. But if they decide to send the Lina mid, then you could have both options open. I just wonder, I mean, I want to say that Lina is very fine laning against Snap. I would even give Lina an edge, maybe like 60-40. So they should be happy with Lina mid. But again, it's going to come down to, you know, what they get to see, and well, like both scenarios of Lina mid and Lina +1 might be fine. That's also the strength of the Lina picks. Like, you pick it that early. This is not a hero that can really get countered in lane. It's so strong on the lane that you can just pick it and
Yeah, she does well. Like, doesn't matter whether she goes to safe lane, whether she goes to mid lane. The hero is going to do fine. And I also think the value that they're going to be getting from Cookie in this game is going to be insane. Like LSA, jumping over the shards, whoever gets initiated on, maybe dodging the snowball, grid against the arrow combo that they have. And also Winter Wyvern being able to split the fight, plus the Wind Ranger. We are not seeing too much of a team fight so far on side of Vici Gaming. I would love to see some kind of a team fight because you're going to be fighting into Snapfire, Wyvern. This is very single target oriented build so far, like the whole lineup.
This Wyvern pick really feels like a checkmate to me because, as you mentioned, they have mostly single target. Wyvern excels at, fixing that. They also have mostly physical damage. Of course, there's Lina, but, one Glimmer Cape, let's say, and one Cold Embrace, and all of a sudden, these three heroes can even fix what a position 5 Wyvern is going to bring to the table. I also really like the synergy between Wyvern and Snap. I think the Curse is a great setup for Cookie, so is Clockwork, of course, but there's just a lot of teamfight synergy with the Falcon heroes. They have very solid lanes. These are dominant laners. So their draft is just very well rounded. Like, they have teamfight, they have very strong lanes, they have save, which is particularly efficient versus the Vici Gaming hero. So I think a lot of weight on the last two picks for Vici Gaming. They obviously have secured themselves like solid heroes and a good draft, but they're in a bit of a tricky situation right now.
Yeah, I would love to see some kind of a team fight. Doom is also a good pick. It's very good against Wind Ranger, good against Wyvern. Centaur, we've seen good amount of Centaurs on 18, just to be able to maybe like even build into pipe in this game. The interaction between Centaur and Wind Ranger, a lot of the time it's not going to happen because he's way too tanky.
What about, okay, they go for the Spectre. This is, I really like this hero. I think it's just, I personally think it's just too strong, honestly. Like, regardless of the game, I think the hero's just in such a good state that it's always a pick. So I like it. They're taking a very skirmishy play the map approach, which honestly, I think I quite like it because, sometimes in Dota, you end up in a situation which I was describing earlier. It's like they can't really fight, and how are they going to fix it? Wyvern's going to save whoever they jump on. And don't try to fix the unfixable. Don't fix what you can't. It's like just double down on what your heroes are designed to do in the game, which is push lanes, ghost push lanes with Mirana, Aghanim, Lina, killing creep waves from, and like split Falcons apart on the map and pick them off with Tusk, Moonlight Shadow, Lina Travel, Spectre, and force them to play your game. And this might actually make heroes like Wyvern look completely helpless.
Yeah, this is something that Yatro talked about in his exit interview, that they like split them real well in that game, even though they were the ones holding the Aegis. They just played the map extremely well. And I like the bans coming out, especially the Viper ban. It would be very good potentially with Clockwork, super strong lane, break against Spectre would always be good. And again, they have a lot of single target. Viper loves to play against these type of heroes, a lot of magic damage early on, and it would kind of decimate Spectre in the lane because if it's going to be Spectre plus Mirana, this is not a strong lane by any means. So I feel like with whatever they decide to pick on side of Falcons, they are going to be having an easy time. This is like, Spectre is a stronger laner that you would expect, but not so much against potentially Clockwork, plus maybe some like Timbersaw that could come out for them, like even Dawnbreaker. I feel like they have multiple ways of dealing what's going to come, and they're going to see the full draft, so they're going to decide.
I like the Dawn idea, actually, you mentioned. I think it could help them fix a little bit of the map, because right now this is really what Vici Gaming is looking to abuse. It's like they, just force them to split and pick them off, because if Falcons is allowed to just group up and go for objectives without really paying the price when it comes to like losing towers perhaps, or losing too much resources because Vici is shoving all the waves into them, then the game is pretty straightforward. So they end up going for the Darkseer. I really like that combo with Spectre. I think it's one of the best in the game. Yeah, you have to think of the team fights. It's like Snapfire, Wyvern, these heroes hate chaos. Like they want to understand where the fight is being fixated, if that makes sense. They want to know, hey, this is where the fight happens, this is where I'm going to stand, this is how, the angle I'm going to click my spells from. And versus Spectre Darkseer, it never happens. It's just full chaos. Like everybody's just getting chased by a Spectre illusion, vacuumed into the wall, and it's just very effective versus the Falcon heroes. Like it's a really good combo. I think they're maybe not investing enough, resources in the laning phase, but hopefully they have a plan, and there's always a jungle backup plan, especially when you play Darkseer. But besides that, I think it's pretty cool how they were able to turn the draft around.
Yeah, the illusion that you make out of Wind Ranger is not the strongest. This is not TB Shadow Fiend illusion type of heroes that we're talking about, but still you're going to be getting the value out of it. It also gives them a little bit of a team fight that we said that they needed, extra bit of a damage like the Iron Shell, Spectre with the Radiance Burn. There's going to be quite a lot of damage over time, especially because, you know, Falcons, they also want to be, this is probably the best team in the world when we're talking about taking the longer fights and how they manage to reset.
Like, what's amazing about the Spectre Darkseer combo is, like, yeah, like Spectre excels, like Spectre enjoys auras a lot. First of all, like dispersion, like this hero is really tanky, like hard to take down, and obviously you kind of lose by trying to kill Spectre. So it just amplifies, right? When Spectre with a pipe, with the Greaves, and all the Darkseer that items that are bought naturally. You also have the combo with the Surge and the Shard of Darkseer, which is slowing you and makes it impossible to disengage. And if you don't run away from Spectre, you die, essentially. And the team fight presence is like, you can count, they're running away, and Darkseer gets like great jumps.
So this is off Wind Ranger?
Yes, this is something that we usually don't see. It's a hero that like doesn't get harassed by Mirana, doesn't get harassed by Spectre.
It's a really good lane for
it's a good like this hero definitely has something to it. Like it has been played from Wind Ranger back in my days as well. Like it definitely has some merit to it. But
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I think they opted to go for Tiny because this is the hero that doesn't care too much about the Darkseer in the lane. He's way too tanky to be killed. And also this is the hero that builds into Silver Edge. He's also kind of like a global hero in a sense once he starts down to hunt people with the Blink Dagger, with the Silver Edge, cut into back lines. And these heroes don't really have that much HP. Like Lina, yes, she can be tanky, but one thing that Lina hates to play against is any repositioning tools. Like I think one of the best matchups against Lina is Tiny, and it's also going to be Magnus, which we really haven't seen.
Yeah, and it's one of the Tiny is one of the heroes that at some point will just stand his ground, right? So you just like he's just there, and he has like, you know, Silver Edge, whatever, Satanic, Daedalus, Tiny 25. He's just standing in the front, and you know, Darkseer, Spectre are gonna click their spells, and Tiny's just not gonna flinch. Like he's just gonna stand there, and he's just too tanky. And I think it gives them also like a scaling like angle where I don't think Wind Ranger would have been able to take this game to the late game on the carry position, but with Tiny it's completely different. You kind of have to think, you know, is the synergy going to be good enough? But you know, it brings me back to Amar playing Ursa in, I think it was in TI finals.
Yes.
Where you're like, oh, and then he just makes it work. So I would just trust them to, at the end of the day, the guy's just Ursa offlane, you know, Doom Radiance, Necro
Slark
Radiance,
offlane, whatever.
Carry. What's the problem at this point? Just Slark, yes. This is like, I guess, another day in the office for Amar. He's just pretending to be offlane. He's never been an offlane player.
It sounds like that Falcons has found themselves a very strong overall last pick. How do we think Vici is going to fare against this? Because I do think that the way you guys were leaning was, if I were to ask you who won the draft, it would be Falcons. How is Vici going to deal with it?
I mean, honestly, when I saw the first 3 picks, I would have told you that Vici Gaming is getting completely outdrafted, and I was very worried for them. With the last 2, Spectre and Darkseer, I'm super hopeful. I think if they play this game well, and let alone get an advantage, they could definitely take it.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I feel like they fixed some of the issues that they did have, but the safe lane is not going to be easy for Spectre.
Well, we're going to find out. Game 1 of this quarterfinals. Falcons, Vici Gaming, coming your way with Sunspan and Kazoo.
Welcome! Game number 1 of this best of 3 in the playoffs here for EWC Falcons versus Vici Gaming. We are indeed paused. We know the reason already. Crit is writing in chat, sound bug. We know that's not true.
We all know it's fake. It's fake news.
That's right. How are you doing?
I'm doing.
You feeling healthy today?
I am feeling healthy. How about yourself? How's your throat? Everything is going well?
Everything's actually okay so far. We'll see how it progresses here.
I'm glad you're doing well 20 seconds into the game.
Yeah, it's a tough job we have here.
That's a good sign, but I'm loving these 2 drafts that we're seeing. You can, you know, it's when you have these type of teams go up against each other, especially in an elimination series and in the playoffs. There's a lot of things like going back and forth. You show this in your draft and you have to answer the other way, because I'm a huge fan of Spectre and also the Lina that Vici Gaming have on their side. And I do feel that they found a nice way to corner Falcons, like drafting-wise, towards the end. We heard them talk about the Tiny. I think it was one of their best picks because Wind Ranger carry would not cut it, but it does mean you have an offlane Wind Ranger. Now, it is Amar. We know this guy defies any type of logic when it comes to offlane picks, so I trust him to make it work, but still do feel like they were heavily pressured in the drafting stage.
Yeah, I'm fascinated what's going to be happening here in Amar's lane, because have you seen him play this hero before?
No.
I don't know how many times he's picked it in pubs. I mean, what's his Dota Plus level? That's what
he's a bronze boy, which means with his own logic, he shouldn't have been allowed because he doesn't pass the Amar test.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Well, maybe he has been holding on to something. He's got another account that he's in, like, whatever the highest rating is for. I don't even know the names of the Dota Plus thing. That's pretty embarrassing considering I've been playing this game for so long. Either way, Vici, do you think that they are the underdogs in this series, or do you think it's pretty evenly matched?
They should be slightly outmatched. Maybe like underdog, I guess, is maybe a bit of a strong word, but I would definitely give the favor overall to Falcons, right? But looking at the drafts, I think that we're in for like, it's a very like gameplay heavy game that where it's like about the small things, whether you get to outplay. Because, you know, Tiny eventually, you are quite strong in this game, but there's still this threat of the mid game. There's a Lina that's going to run around with an Aghanim Scepter. There's Moonlight Shadow. A lot of waves are pushed in from Iron Shell. And obviously, you have Spectre in your draft as well.
Yeah, we haven't gotten cast a Spectre in quite a while.
I love this hero.
Yeah, tell me why.
So I like a lot of the changes that they've done to some heroes, Morphling and Spectre in particular, where you have just more spells to work with. You know, Morph has better base stats, which means he can go Adapt to Strike and Waveform. Spectre has Desolate as an innate, which is insanely strong, which means you have a bonus spell in Shadow Step. They also buffed Spectre's like base damage, I think, by like 3 or 4 on base Agi. So huge fan of this hero. Think it's very much forgotten. And you see these range carries in so many games. And against these heroes he's playing against, should have a pretty good game on the Spectre.
Nice bowling coming out from Crit here as Jin Q on the other side pulling some creeps as the Tusk just for this Darkseer as your, well, I was going to say your idol, Faith Beyond, but you did a video content recently where we asked who your idol was,
forgot.
and you didn't mention him.
No, this...
You don't forget your idol. That's weird.
Man, I had a few idols, okay? You know, there's Zai, there's Universe. I mentioned a third guy that I'm now forgetting. I think Ice or something. No, but Faith Beyond, he is, of course, one of the GOATs. You know, he's won TI before, and now he's back playing. He's playing the Darkseer here, which... The Tiny is a bit of an annoying matchup for you, because Tiny has insanely high damage, which means he has free CS, gets some good denies, and he's not that easy to collapse on later. So I did like the Falcons last pick quite a lot in this draft.
And if you're talking about late game, how does a Tiny match up against a Spectre?
It should...
Like, do you go Silver Edge on this hero? I feel like you do, right?
Yes, you absolutely need Silver Edge. I think you also need Blink Dagger. Like, overall, when I look at the heroes that you're dealing with on the Vici side, you need to jump them. You need to find a way that you start the fight. If you always wait for Vici to get the perfect initiation with some Tusk, Vacuum Wall, Moonlight Shadow, and Haunt, you're kind of getting cooked.
Yeah.
But a one-to-one matchup, Spectre beats most of them. I do think that Tiny has a good shot. But then the strength of Spectre is also, you can choose your target. You don't have to end up in a 1v1 if you don't want to.
And we look at the mid lane here. Malrine sitting on 13-2 CS versus the 13-1 of XM's Lina. So overall, very even so far. And yeah, this bot lane Skeeter should just have a free time, I would think. The question is, can they pressure Bach enough to force him out of lane for a little bit, or do you think this is just going to be a wash of a lane overall?
There is definitely a lot of pressure going away, and you can see it in the CS. I mean, Jinkyu has more CS than Bach. Of course, it is a lot of neutrals, but you know, classic post-4 behavior. At least some of the greedy players, like shout out to my boy Yavsor, hasn't played in forever, but you know, his type of mantra is still in this game.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad to see Lina again. This hero is picking up steam, it feels like. Do you feel like it's been underrated until this most recent stretch?
For sure. Like, we've seen it mid, we've seen it carry, we've seen different builds, and we've seen it pick quite early also. In this game, it was the overall first pick, and like mentioned before, I like that they went for the Spectre round later in the game. So we'll see, you know, if the XM mid Lina can put in some work here. I'm quite faithful in it.
Curious to see what Malrine purchase itemizes this game, because he can be kind of off the cuff at times, similar to Malrine, or similar to ATF rather.
I'm also a little bit interested because, generally speaking, you want to go the magic build on Snapfire. It's the one that allows you to play the fastest, you're dealing very good damage, but also maybe relying on your ult against Darkseer, Vacuum, and Shadow Step could be a little bit difficult. So we'll see what route he decides, because of course you can go the travels into Blink Shard, play magic, but we've also seen a few physical Snapfires.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a carry like Tiny that's kind of a mix of damages, I guess you don't really have to go a specific route. I mean, the question is, again, what is Amar building?
He's definitely going carry. Nah, like you, offlane Wind Ranger, if he buys Guardian Greaves or some shit, I'm leaving. You're gonna solo cast.
Guard, pipe.
No way. Ain't no way. First of all, it's not good. Second of all, it's Amar. I'm pretty sure those items, he removed them from his shop.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense.
So I'm just expecting most likely just some Maelstrom Pike, I think, eventually on the Wind Ranger. You could even, you know, consider like a Silver Edge even later if you want, the BKB in the mid game.
Amar gonna get slowed down. A baby arrow comes out from Y. Nice shackle from Amar though. Will buy himself enough space. Still no first blood in this game. Gets a nice power shot on the Y, who's actually slowed quite a bit. Or is he just that slow in general? Looks like that's the case. Crit coming in from the other side. Gets both inside the cogs as Y taking the brunt of the damage, and the power shot from Amar will give him first blood on the off lane. Windrunner.
Yep, nicely played by them. Because the fact is that they understood that Y didn't have a single level in lead, right? He took too much damage on Wind Ranger, 2 levels in the Solar Storm, 1 level in the Arrow. So Crit just comes on over from the side with the boots of speed, easy cogs into the first blood. Which you do kind of need. Like Wind Ranger, like this type of the way that she lanes in the off lane, you don't have much sustain, much regen. You want some gold coming your way. And I like this more too. Like you just see a straight Laguna Blade as Mr. Crit.
Yep, tag team is preventing him from getting any further, so Jin Q gets some sort of revenge in that top lane. Yeah, Laguna Blade was used in the mid lane. Is that just to pressure him a bit so that they have the advantage for the rune, potentially?
It's first of all so much damage, and also you don't need it for like last hitting. Like now the guy is half HP, you're kind of chilling, you got to pressure in the wave, and like you said, 6-minute rune is coming up. Which is also why I like Jin Q's rotation, like this minute 5, it turns nighttime. Combining your 2 supports in the safe lane, then they can both walk to the mid lane together. It's a very natural but also very strong move.
It's going to be that top rune for XM, so he does pick up the damage rune. Obviously, without a Laguna Blade, it's going to be a little bit more difficult without some support to get a kill. As Amar pressured a bit out of this tier 1 area.
Yeah, let's see how this goes, because Amar on low HP, potentially we'll have to see if Malrine is able to help him on the Wisdom Shrine. Of course, he has ult, which means Snapfire is the king of the map right now. If there's any fight breaking out, you're getting at least 1 or 2 trade kills here from Falcons. The only thing is, okay, so Malrine did get himself another TP to be available.
Yeah, it's going to go for the blink first, it seems, on the Snapfire, as a 7-minute Wisdom about to pop. And Shira looking pretty healthy right now, gets a Shadow Step out. As Bach heads towards his shrine, Snaking and Skeeter look to be maybe trying to contest. Inside they go, but XM there with the damage rune.
Here come the kisses.
Thinking about it. Yeah, the kiss is coming from afar. Bach, he does get burned out, and XM inside gets the Laguna Blade onto Snaking, so it's a trade of sorts, and now it's a 1v1 battle between Skeeter and XM winning it, and we'll get the shrine as a result, as Malrine, though, getting doubled up on by these supports from Vici Gaming, and he's slowed very much, only with the brown boots right now, so Jin Q should be able, I mean, the cooldowns are quite a while. He's going to dodge the arrow. Surely they can catch up to him. He gets to the high ground, vision advantage is his, Cookie to the low ground, might be enough. Indeed, Malrine somehow gets away. I thought he was dead for sure here.
It's a nice escape, and Jin Q wants to continue chasing him, but not quite. They were very close to the haunt. They did just unlock it now on Shiro, so if there's any less denying in this top lane...
Go into the fountain.
No, just do it.
Come on now.
Come on, man the hell up, Shiro.
How has Shadow Step changed how this hero is played? Or is it more the fact that the innate is just...
No, it's both. Because the thing, like, you just have another way to help fight on the side. Like, usually the reason why Spectre sucked so much in lane is that you were a dagger and that's it. Like, now with Shadow Step, you don't even have to commit. You can just let your illusion poke, fight alongside the +5, and then you can also go to the illusion, which is incredibly strong. So probably one of my favorite changes that came out of some of the last patches that we've had.
Yeah, and we're finally seeing the results, with Spectre actually being picked occasionally.
Usually it does take a while, and we can see Amar's quick buy here with the Mjolnir currently.
Yep, that's right. No big surprise. Anything that does damage, he will go for. In this case, Shiro. Not pressure too much. Crit, level 5, so no hook shot quite yet. We've been seeing a lot of level 3 clockworks at this stage of the game, so that's, I guess, good news for Falcons.
Crit knows what's up. He is, I think you may have even said it the other day, he's been the most impressive clockwork out of all the clocks we've seen. I think his positioning is superb. His bowling skills are supreme.
Yeah. I don't think I said that, but I'll take credit.
You said that you liked his clock the most, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it was him I was referring to.
Well, you should have.
Yep, he's very good. Very good player.
An easy layup here.
You know me, I can't lie.
I don't know about that one.
As we can see on the other side, Jin Q finally just hits level 5, so The supports for Vici a little bit underleveled in comparison. Snake King level 4 on the other side.
As Malrine, he did scan out Jin-Q, so he knows that he's on the side. Yeah, I want to see if Malrine actually goes for the first item Blink Dagger, like just to speed up this game as opposed to the travels.
Shiro getting gone on Skeeter through the gate, gets the avalanche, and they collapse completely onto Shiro. Nice pickoff for Falcons. First death for the Spectre thus far.
And honestly, this is one of the classic Falcons plays. Like, even Malrine TP to the tier 1 just in case a fight did break out, that you can take this play. So the Skeeter winning his lane, going through the gate to also now help Amar in the off lane.
Crit has gotten 2 out of the 3 power runes so far in this game. As Malorine's going to be spotted by Jin-Q. Snowball.
Shards off the mark.
Word, all right.
That's a hasted crit.
Support now as the Mortimer's coming out right on top of XM, who's stuck inside the cogs, taking a ton of damage as a result, burning away. He's still going to live. The Snake King's going to try to finish the job. He will do so. It's going to cost him his life, along with crit. So both supports bite the dust for Falcons, but I mean, if you're trading XM, you'll take that. But I'm not
nice dodge
over yet as Malrine under the tier 1 tower, getting gone on by 3 members of Vici. That's a triple kill for Y on this Mirana. Nice shackle coming out.
Missed the power shot though.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to do any more damage, so that'll break the fight up completely.
Okay, so at the start of the fight, I was like, okay, this is still decent for Falcons. They took the top tier 1, but with everything that ended up happening, like, you want these small fights and skirmishes on Spectre. Even if you only get the assist, also like a triple kill for Y. Like, maybe during this, I believe that Skeeter has a TP ready later on, perhaps with an avalanche when they were diving, they could have helped out, but you can just see all this damage. Like, Snapfire ult this early on is so deadly.
XM was actually super close to living there, too, because the last glob wasn't quite enough to get the kill. XM has Boots of Travel as his first item, and his counterpart in Malrine still eyeing up the Blink. We'll see if he changes his mind for Boots. I assume he wants Boots of Travel as well.
Yeah, so the travels would feel nicer, but Blink is a bit more of, it's slightly more committal, but it also gives you more plays on the map, right? You can unlock things that you didn't have before. You could potentially smoke up with with Mr. Malrine and smoke maybe into the bottom side or fight plays that you otherwise cannot. They also TP'd Skeeter into the mid lane to go for a smoke, so an active rune timing on the 12-minute mark here.
And Jin-Q gonna get avalanched into the cookie and into his death, although Snowball will delay it just a tad. And the Invis rune was grabbed by Jin-Q before that point.
Still a 2k lead though for Falcons. And yeah, we can see Malrine just queue up the kind of normal items, Boost of Travel into the Shard. Skeeter, also no surprise on the Tiny. You go to Echo Saber. You're gonna go for the Shadow Blade.
Arrow.
Yep, see you later, range creep.
To the range, and tier 1 tower taking some damage, but you can see the TP's on the way. They do spot it. Nice cogs. More bowling. And Jin-Q going to be rewarded for his TP.
Does mean during all of this, though, that Bach is recovering very, very nicely on the Darks here, right? You've got your Dominator, which means even if you leave the lane, you can keep cutting some creeps, you can keep stacking.
And Moonlight Shadow being put to good use on top of Amar here. Sets up the LSA into the Laguna and into the arrow. It's not quite enough yet. The last right click was needed as XM takes his second kill of the game on the Lina.
There's a lot of like very nice micro plays. So when you play offlane Wind Ranger, you don't want to end up in this position where Amar just died. And usually you want to pull the hard camp in the top lane after you kill the tier 1 tower. But if you look at what Vici did, they sentryed the hard camp. So there's no way for you to bring the lane back. They also have a lane ward to always see where is this guy after all. So now you kind of indirectly force himself to overplay, kill him, and they're farming stacks at the same time. So very nice stuff here from Vici.
As Malrine using that Blink Dagger to full effect. The wall comes out early from Bach to try to delay this from the Falcon side, and I guess in a way it does work as Snake King now running away. So not a lot of Ancients taken there. They are quite low though.
Yeah, you'll just keep farming this on the Darks here. So they are happy with a very static map. If any overplays, of course, happen, you will look at it with the Haunt, Shiro, who's currently just happily farming his Blade Mail. I mean, once he has this, it's quite nice for him to reach into the game.
Oh,
it seems that Malady has passed on the script into the next series.
That's right.
Execute Wisdom Shrine Steel.
Well done.
Yeah, it's a great Blade Mail game. Like, especially Wind Ranger and Snapfire ult.
Wait, who bought Blade Mail?
Spectre.
Oh,
it's super good.
Yeah, I love that.
Helps you, first of all, helps you farm. It's super good for the fighting. And so, yeah, we've seen this before. You steal the Wisdom Shrine, you kill some camps, but you do pay the price.
Well, Y will take a tumble. A la Malady, without the Malad, just the Y.
Yeah, just very good. Lacoste will be proud of this one, might be chuckling.
XM has the Kaya now, as he's opting for Aghanim Scepter, it seems. We'll talk about that in just a moment, but I think we're going to have a connection here onto Skeeter. Not able to lock him in, though, is Jin Q, as he's snaking on the high ground, just keeping his eyes peeled.
Have to be careful how you play here. They are smoking over already.
We'd love to get Jin Q. He's going to dodge the avalanche, though, but there's the hook shot onto the back line, onto Lina, with the Mortimer's Kisses right on top as well. And that's the death of XM, and the Mortimer's still being flied. Look at this damage as Shiro joined the party. I think he regrets his decision. The wall comes out a little bit too late as Skeeter. Can he outrun his illusion? Looks like Amar will clean it up for him. So 3 for 2 in favor of Falcons. And Y would need to...
It's not an easy
perfect
kill.
execution here. Goes for the leap. Into the Starstorm, not enough. Definitely needed the arrow on top.
I was thinking maybe he would try to arrow from the high ground, but either way, Falcons with a very timely response there earlier with the smoke. As Marine got off a full duration on the kisses, Amar also kind of bailing out his team.
And what do you think of the Aghanim Scepter that XM wants to opt for here?
It's just so strong. We're gonna see this again because this looked good initially, right? You kill the Winter Wyvern first, but this hookshot into the kisses, and I think Bach is kind of low on mana, so there's not too many shells going on, no real vacuum available either. He also just got his wall available at this moment.
Oh, we have a fight in live. We can see the first curse of the game, I do believe. Holding them in place as Box takes a lot of damage over time. The power shot a little bit early, but I think they're still going to find the 2 kills they came for. Nicely done from Falcons, as Y will be able to escape. As this 2K lead is very firm now for Falcons.
They're definitely pacing up, and it's also the right thing to do. You asked about the Aghanim Scepter, which is very good on Lina. But you're now building 2 items on Vici. You kind of have to, right? The Radiance and the Ags. They're kind of... It's dead gold until you fully complete those items. Like the build up to Aghanims, no one really cares. Get a little bit of HP. So if you're Falcons, definitely want to continue to keep up the pressure. But yeah, Lina Ags, unobstructed movement. You get insane spell and magic resistance, which is great against the Radiant draft.
Yeah, they are almost all magic damage. Tiny ends up getting a lot of physical the later the game goes, and obviously the Windrunner, especially with Amar playing the way he is. He's 4-1 actually as the off-lane.
Yeah, he's owning. They only squeezed in that one little play on him earlier. Possessed Mask is also something you feel quite happy with on the Wind Ranger because you have no sustain.
Yeah, he's got Mjolnir now. And Shadowblade up and running for Skeeter. And speaking of Skeeter, he is found. LSA ready for him along with the Laguna Blade, and they're going to be cleaning him up easily. So a very big kill for Vici, showing some semblance of life here.
No, definitely. That was quite deep, I would even say, because Skeeter having a very, very good game, but wanted to keep up the pressure here. I'm a bit surprised that I'm not seeing Bach queue up any auras early on, you know, a potential pipe or Greaves against the Tiny, the Snapfire, this like abundance of magic damage. But instead he is opting for, he bought the shard early on, which is very good in this game, but it's also quite aggressive into the Shivas. Obviously the minus attack speed against Tiny is incredible, probably the best hero to build it against. Very low attack speed, incredibly high damage hero.
This is like, I'm trying to think if there's any other hero that I consistently see the casual Chasm Stone on, other than Darkseer. I've definitely seen this a few times. His arrow's actually going to cancel out the ult coming out from Mount. This.
That's a real...
When did that happen? I never saw that.
I don't think I caught that either. I was about to say that's a dirty pause, like just killing the guy straight up after.
We never got to see that one. That must have happened off camera while the fight was continuing elsewhere. Man, that's the second time I've done that in my career.
Yep, keep it up.
Chalk it up to old age.
As a Skeeter dies again. Let me think of the Chasm Stone. Sometimes you see it on Underlord, that's pretty good. Seen people buy it on Snapfire. Darkseer, of course, also very nice with the good old vacuum. Me like. Seen it on some support Earthshakers, which is, of course, played very, very little.
You can see Crit is actually opting for a Blink Dagger next, which is something we've been seeing more and more on these Clockworks. Why is that?
It just seems to be more and more kind of what you want to do. It's about, you know, getting a hook shot and then repositioning or just blinking behind him and playing on the cogs, because the hero is a lot more about having proper positioning and then landing your hook and cogs than it really is anything else.
Yeah.
You're not expected to be on top of someone with a battery assault. It's a very, very big bonus that you're playing for. True.
What level is his battery assault right now? Level 1, classic.
I'm even surprised he has a level in it. Usually you see like 044. Mr. Snake King.
Yeah, they find him, and Boots of Travel with Shiro coming in as well. Will eat him up very easily. As Bach actually taking a ton of damage from Amar, so he actually gets a bigger kill isolated from the group. Hookshot's gonna miss. This probably will end the fight, although why? No more leaps to work with, so they'll find a second form of a kill.
No, Amar is cooking. I wonder if he's being slightly disrespected by some of this itemization. Okay,
XM. Oh my god, they actually get the Mortimer's Kisses. Shackle shot not going to fully commit. It's LSA,
yep, see you later.
Blade, rather, not enough, as Amar will right-click him down. In addition, he's 6-1 on Windrunner offlane. What are we watching? What are we witnessing?
He's owning it. He's going to have a very good time on the BKB as well, and having like Mjolnir BKB in this draft is incredibly good against the Dire side, because while Bach is buying the Shivas, which is insanely good against the Tiny, Wind Ranger doesn't care. You have like maximum attack speed anyway. You're not using this Mjolnir or the high attack speed into a Crimson, into Greaves, into a Pipe. So the only thing he kind of has to worry about is maybe the Blade Mail on Shiro, but even then, you're going to have the BKB against it. So yeah, classic Amar doing Amar things.
If this is what a bronze Amar Windrunner looks like, what is Master Tier exactly?
At this point, I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. This guy is just so good. If you give him the right hero in like the right place and you kind of set him up for it, like even throughout his couple years that he's now played competitive, I think this guy's like individual skill and understanding is just so high that he can make any hero work.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy played offlane Ursa at TI Finals in Game 5.
All right, I'll believe it when he picks Ricky.
I mean, that hero's just garbage.
Exactly.
Actually, mid Ricky is playable, but offlane Ricky, I don't even know if he could make that work.
That's the true test.
We'll see it in Game 2, of course.
Right here. Challenge
Let
accepted.
them know.
AUI, if you're watching, please apply.
You think he's not watching?
If you're listening, he usually tunes me out. As Hero about to get ganked by 3 members of Falcons, although his spidey senses are tingling.
Yeah, they did go for a scan, and the arrow also hitting here for a Y. It's been a little bit of a quiet couple minutes for Vici, right? We talked about the items earlier, Aghanim, Scepter, and Radiance, 2 items that you have to like farm towards for a long time. But no Moonlight Shadow pickoffs, no Haunt pickoffs, bottom tier 1 still available as well. Kind of shows a bit of the strength of this last pick Tiny as well, being able to just sit in this area for a long time.
And Faith Beyond just about finished with just a recipe away for the Shiva's Guard, as he's gonna eventually get this tower with the rally skeletons.
Yeah, another reason why Dominator is just so good. It's bonus farm, but also the reason mid tower died is the Helm of Dominator. The reason the bottom tier 1 died, Helm of Dominator. Looking for a play on Amar here. No BKB yet.
Yeah, they're gonna get the punch up into the LSA. They bring everyone basically, and they assassinate basically what I would consider to be the carry of this game so far.
Oh, he is. He definitely is. Also, like with this top net worth currently, because Skeeter is not going to enjoy team fighting once there's a Shivas.
XM found out. They get the Avalanche set up for the Mortimers as well. So Skeeter, nothing comes for free for Falcons. They lose somebody, they usually get a better trade. At least that's been the case so far in this game.
Yeah, because Vici, they have a couple of sentries on the map, actually quite a few, but none like kind of deep in the mid-river. It's very much on their own side. So Skeeter finding a very, very, you know, nice move there with the Shadow Blade to get this pick off onto XM.
Malrine with an invisibility rune, as he is 6-2 to match Amar. Great start to the game for their offlane and mid. And Skeeter. They were hounding Bach a little bit. He has his shard. It's a pretty early pickup. You typically get it this early on Darkseer.
It can be quite good, like when you just walk. I think the slows is quite nice against like Tiny. Like it's overall about the trail. So we do see it generally when you can play very aggressive, like you have an Ursa in your lineup, or maybe a Weaver that's just continuously running around. So potentially slightly earlier than usual. And so they're not going to quite oblige to the Tormentor, as I guess they just don't see anything on the map. So I have to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, interesting. Definitely could have gotten it. But I guess maybe you're worried about, I mean, he just picked up Radiance. If you haunt right afterwards and you're super low, you could give up a triple or an ultra kill pretty fast. As Jin-Q spotted, but the sentry will see. He's going to get hook shot and pushed back into the fray. Skeeter claims him. Nice. 3K lead for Falcons. Okay. And in terms of Roche play, which team would you say has the advantage?
For now, honestly, neither team is like that good. Maybe like you have Focus Fire, which is the best tool for Radiant, so you definitely can take it. Dire is fine because you have Iron Shells and Tag Team, so I would maybe give it to Vici slightly. Once you unlock Manta style on Vici, it's absolutely in their favor. So could definitely see a world where Falcons will want to control that area and then turn it into a team fight, because they're like both team have insane like pit fight abilities, right? You have Darkseer Vacuum Wall, you have Winter's Curse, you have Snapfire Kisses. So might see a lot of team fighting around the Roche.
If Falcons have to use Focus Fire to kill Roche, if it gets contested, then that's real bad, right?
That's why it's horrible. And Falcons are very good at those type of things. They do not overcommit. They wait, they play patient, they wait for the moment. So I wouldn't really see that situation happening.
Smoke from Vici, scans coming out, and looks like they will not connect onto anyone as Skeeter already exited the area. I think I find so fascinating about Falcons, as we're going to get a pause here.
A bit of Kale.
I find them to be one of the most fascinating teams in history because of the dynamic that they have in the team. They have, I mean, not to mention AUI as coach, but Malrine, Amar, and Skeeter, for a very large portion of time, especially when the meta really aligns with them, they can all play similar hero pools.
Yeah.
And being able to flex like that in the draft just gives you such a leg up overall. And then you have, I mean, just in a traditional sense from how they're playing now, Skeeter, it just never feels like he's actually the carry player. He's like the backup, like the stable guy that will always give enough space for the likes of Amar and Malrine.
And the thing I have to mention is that, you know, Amar and Malrine, I love them and they're incredibly good players, but I think this type of carry player, they don't get the credit they deserve. Think of like Matamba Man back in the day, you know? It's like the type of shadow carry. If you need them to hard carry, Skeeter can. Matamba Man always could. But they're the reason why some of these teams work with the greedy players that they do have.
Yeah, Malrine's going to get punched in the air. Arrow's going to come in and connect as well. XM there to finish him off. Beautiful kill from Vici Gaming. And now Falcons on the run. Snake King able to traverse terrain here. Looks like he'll get out just fine. Vici with a one and done.
Very, very necessary curse, because otherwise Snake King was for sure dead. But you can see a little bit of the power coming in, you know, Moonlight Shadow into the punch. You have a quick follow-up. And Vici Gaming, they got through some of the hardest timing of the map. Bach, though, maybe
never
not so
for
lucky.
free. Never for free, it seems. And XM's going to find another kill, though, in the form of crit, at the very least.
Still, overall, I do think Vici have a lot of power spikes coming their way, right? They got to the Aghanim. I'm sure you lost a couple of heroes here or there, but Yacha Kaya, Axe completed on Lina. XM is closing in on the Blink Dagger. And honestly, the Radiance for Spectre, it's a small timing, like your illusions are slightly better, but once you have Manta, that's when you're really looking to get more involved. If there's any stun, a support will insta-die if you haunt in and drop the Manta.
25 minutes in and still no Roche attempt. I have to say that's a little unusual.
Yeah, it's just that it's hard to, because if you commit against, if you commit as either draft against the other, and they're gonna like smoke over or anything, they're gonna wipe the floor with you. You can see the same, yeah. Tormentor as well, right? Still up at 26 minutes. Like they're just respecting each other. One team has Clockwork, the other team has Spectre, so you can potentially haunt over.
When have we seen Tormentor taken on this side of the map?
I don't think we've seen it.
It's kind of crazy that it has this mechanic in the game that we rarely get to see, actually, until like much later in the game. We're going to see the Rocket Pack come out for crit.
Which is quite nice. Now him and Lina can both play Jetpack Simulator in this game.
Need to see them flying next to each other. Snake King, ooh, in the cover of
Smoke
the
is
smoke.
breaking.
Jin-Q in the tree line. Amar didn't want to go for him, apparently. He's going to get the blink off, but they still have the vision. And there's the harpoon, and now the CC. Basically an insta-gib once they actually catch up to Jin-Q.
When I'm looking at some of these next fights, it's honestly more important that the supports for Falcons stay alive. Usually within the haunt, of course, if you can clutch out a core, that's amazing for you. But then there's Winter's Curse can come through, Cold Embrace can come through. But if you get to kill Wyvern or Clockwork within Haunt, you will generally win those fights. So I like the itemization from snaking. You got a Glimmer, got some drums to go around, but I also hope that all the cores, you need to pay attention to your supports.
You need to get your greedy neutrals.
It's true.
Another kill here onto Y. Wrong place, wrong time. 4K lead for Falcons. And at what point are they going to feel comfortable to go for Roche?
If they have a slightly better map, I think okay, that answers your question.
Yep.
They have mid control, at least somewhat.
Vici, though.
They will definitely fight this one.
Yeah, they have Haunt. No Mirana, though, for 30. So this is a 4 versus 5 crit. Likely to be the sacrifice. Does have the Blink Dagger, though. And Roche.
They're finding a good angle, but it's late.
They'll find it first. Yeah, they should get it in time. Now, will Vici want to fight regardless?
Someone is
Gonna
cooked.
spot the Snake King Wyvern as the hook shot coming in right on top of Jin Q. Another death for him. And Haunt on the back line onto Malrine.
That's a good back.
Like a big back wall onto several heroes as Bach with a triple kill now. Shira is getting gone on by Amar. He will get that kill as Bach continuing his reign of terror onto Amar.
Dagon!
Okay. I didn't know the XM picked that up, but hell yeah.
That's always the funniest way to realize there's a Dagon when some dude just gets his ass sapped at the end of a team fight. Okay,
So
kind of a crazy fight.
They get Aegis, but Falcons pay a heavy price.
No, they absolutely do. It was quite good of them to get it, like to get the Aegis. You can just see the power of Spectre. Look at him, like he reality rifts in on the left side onto Malrine. That's even without the Manta. This vacuum wall just kind of sealed the deal. Amar still has crazy damage.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that Shiro popped his blade mail so early, actually. I figured you just wait for the Windrunner ult, but...
I definitely think you can wait, because, right, it was overall against the Snapfire. But at the same time...
Yeah, if you get just stun locked, then you feel bad not using it, so...
And Amar has BKB anyway, who's working currently on a Satanic, which will help him.
Yeah, Blade Mail not nearly as good as it used to be, I suppose. I remember back in the day with Spectre.
Oh, it used to be.
It would be part of his, even in like super late game scenarios, you would keep the Blade Mail a lot of the time.
I like
Went
this.
through BKB.
I like the Dagon on the Lina. First of all, the item was buffed, so you get cast range, which is quite nice. Sure, it's not that much. It's only 60 level 1. But your spell amp on this hero is crazy with the Kayayasha. Oh yeah, so that's the other thing we missed earlier.
Yeah, they got the Aegis.
They got Aegis and BKB. Yeah, that fully flew over me.
Well, so did Lina. She has Ags.
That's true, and so will Clockwork.
That's why we can't find
He's
them.
got the rocket pack.
And it's a BKB now picked up from Box. So they completely nullify this Roche kill. Like, absolutely nothing to show for it is Falcons.
And even now, like when you're Tiny, like Skater is having a good game, of course, on the carry Tiny, but into a Shiva's Guard, that's lowering your attack speed by a lot. Like for Tiny, it's actually massive. So it is definitely still on Amar to like kind of get a lot of things going, but the way Wind Ranger works, she kind of lock on one target, crit, good hook.
Yeah, pushes the Mirana down into the Avalanche, into the Bowling, but does have the Leap and the Greaves.
Needed a couple more
Why?
follow stuns there. You know, the cog push didn't allow the toss for Skeeter.
What do you think of this build from Y? So he goes for Greaves, which obviously is just good item.
It's very good.
A lot of Miranas we're seeing are very greedy. They just go Ags first. They play for the late game. Does this fall off?
I like it for the fact that you wanna, like, you farmed so long, you actually got to this stage pretty nicely. You didn't need more greed to, like, actually, you know, just allow Falcons to run you over. Now your heroes are ready to fight. And I think building items that amplify this is great. Maybe in like 10, 15 minutes, you can go back to the greed and back to the scaling.
Yeah, Malrine punched in the air. They have all the burst damage. Dagon coming out from XM again. Jin Q looks like he might survive. Gets off the Yules as Amar in the area to try to finish the job. The Greaves is going to keep them pretty safe. See the back wall onto 2. The Curse only onto a single hero. As Y will be able to shrug it off easily. Now Amar stuck in a precarious spot. Pops the BKB, trying to finish the job onto Jin Q.
This is not good for Falcons.
They do not have the vision as Skeeter with the BKB going to get pushed to the other side. Looks like he will walk away, but Falcons, the LSA finding
See you later.
as he burns to the ground from XM, and they're going to get a tier 2 on top of this as Vici Gaming showing up big time in the last few minutes.
It is so much easier for them to maneuver around the map at the moment with like all the macro stuff they have, right? You have so much Ghost Push, you have the Moonlight Shadow, you keep getting the very nice jumps just all around the map. That's 3 kills, a couple BKBs going your way as well. As Malrine, once you get punched up, you're gone, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the beauty of this is Lina, I mean, they were all smoked, but she showed her spells in the bot side of the map, and immediately Falcons pinged it, and within 10 seconds, they're already here ganking the top lane.
Yeah, you've got Travels. They're very mobile, of course, with all the heroes that they have, and just very nice spell usage too, right? Like Jin Q getting out initially under the Moonlight Shadow and guarding Greaves. You keep the fight going on. And I love watching XM. This guy is one of my favorite mid laners. I think it's been a long time since we've had like a ultra explosive like mid player from the Chinese scene.
It's actually upgrading Dagon.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. More spell amp, like more damage, more cast range going your way. It's got an arcane rune. Like, come on, guys. This guy is a monster on the Lina now.
Okay, I don't want to backseat. Is it actually worth upgrading?
Yes.
Like, immediately?
I mean, what? Look at his loss.
Expensive.
No, it's great. I think it's amazing because all you want to do on Lina is not get caught, immediately kill a guy, then wait 10 seconds and go for round 2.
Right.
And I think with the changes to Dagon, where it gives you cast range, I do think they're putting the item in like a very, very nice spot.
It doesn't look like it lowers cooldown anymore, right? So 21-second flat, it seems, as Malrine and Skeeter team up to take out one.
That's a big one with the gem. Or maybe not the gem.
Q jumping into the last moment, gets the stun locked. A hook shot's going to completely miss.
What's happening?
On a standstill target, Jin Q. Next level move. Standstill does not get hit. Meanwhile, Skeeter gets the double kill, though. They zap down Snake King in turn. So 2 for 1, just supports dead at the moment.
I just watched 2 guys like sit on a gem for like 6 seconds.
Who actually ended up getting it? Was it Malrine?
Yeah. Marine ended up dropping 1 item faster.
If Collapse was in the game.
He would have had that instantly. And Skeeter still showing off some of his strength here on the Tiny, being able to kill both the supports. It is good. But it's been a while since Falcons got some more meaningful kills, I would say. Of course, they did get the Roche earlier. But
So kind of funny. Dagon 4. And he's auto-buying the recipe again. So, most expensive item in the game. Is it still? I believe so.
Level 5 it is.
Yeah.
Still very, very good.
That is hilarious. I love it. And we don't get to see this at all anymore. Especially now that it doesn't kill creeps instantly,
I think it
right?
was Tai Lung. I mean, if you have level 5 Dagon, you're one zapping somebody, that's for sure.
True.
The only other guy I saw it build in this tournament, I think, was Tai Lung on the puck. Which, of course, is also quite good.
Was it this early, though?
That was maybe like 10 minutes from now. I think he had like Conjurer's Catalyst, so like tier 4 item territory, 40-minute plus.
Very cool.
I want to see though, like Falcons, even though they're only down 2k gold, I think when you're trying to have a read on like the actual strength of their draft, they are struggling at the moment. Because some of their next items that are coming out, it's a lot of survivability, right? It's a Satanic for Amar, it's a BKB for Marine after his A on this.
All right, this is cool, I have to mention. The Aghanim Scepter out for Shiro. I don't know if you go for this normally. Can you tell me? It's very cool. You pop Haunt, and when you reality onto the first illusion, it fears enemies around. That's super cool.
It is not something you see that often, because honestly, I don't think it's that amazing, but it's really good here against the Snapfire. They did scan them out.
That's true.
Crit, great positioning.
Yeah, Skeeter. Okay, we'll be able to take out Jin Q in turn here. The wall comes out. Instantly the curse again, only onto the single target, but the illusions are nearby. Skeeter trying to run this off with the BKB. He will get out. Crit, right click down in the meantime, as Bach killed off by Amar. Gets back to base, so 1 for 2 favor Falcons. Skeeter still looking for potential target despite being low HP. XM gets the shrine on his way out.
That looked quite disjointed, at least for the starters for Vici, but Falcons had insane positioning, right? The pre-scan on the fight, then Crit placing an Observer Ward and jetpacking off the map to kind of show everybody to his team was a very, very good start to this fight. And also just cleaning out Jin Q. He's been incredibly annoying. I guess here they just got very split, like the curse, and you can see Shiro on the right side trying to like also run down Skeeter.
I was wondering why the curse was lasting so long, but it was the shackle after, I guess.
Yeah, he was just unlocked for forever on Bach. If I saw properly, he's actually got a Hex. Yeah, he's incredibly strong. So even if you have Lina going on anyone into a Haunt, or just Bach jumping them with a Hex vacuum and the Haunt comes in, you are starting to get cooked real quick.
We got ourselves a game here.
Oh, we do. All we needed was to not have a pregame segment where we say it's a doozy.
We are bad luck indeed. Malrine this time with the damage rune. It's been XM every single time, it feels like, with these power runes.
79%. I don't disagree. And also, we all know that Dota Plus and Gabe, they love Spectre.
They do.
But I would probably go more with like a 70 to 30. I think 80-20 is quite strong. There's always a lot of gameplay to be had.
Radiant are
So Malrine does have BKB. We'll see if he wants to pop it while using his ult or not, because you're right. He's just going to get feared in all likelihood from Shiro.
Another good scan. They know they're behind this tower.
And the initiation is a little bit awkward thanks to the snowball. As XM coming in from the south. Gonna get bowled on as Jin-Q is staying alive. There's the Haunt coming out. Get a big back wall onto 4 heroes as Crit and the rest of Falcons attempting to run away. Amar super low as well. They clean up 1 support. Feels like every fight is just Falcons trying to run away as the Illusion's catching up to him. LSA not going to hit thanks to the BKB, so Skeeter gets to the high ground successfully.
He might actually get out. Interesting. So that's
somehow, yeah.
After all of that, just one kill, but want to play it safe. Also, second Roche is, about to respawn very shortly. Kind of looked like Jin-Q could have just been instant dead there, but with the Yules again making a lot of time, guarding Greaves and everything to make sure that he does stay alive. We'll see it here again, because it looked like a good go, right? Like Jin-Q snowballing aggressively on the map there. It looks like Shiro didn't quite get to linger onto people, but if maybe played a little more aggressive towards the start there. Because yeah, only Crit getting out. Very nice disengage from Falcons.
You mean getting out to the grave?
Yeah.
It's crazy when you get a vac wall that is that disgusting. You get a singular kill on a support. Shiva's from Faith Beyond going to spot a little bit of action going on. Laguna already onto Skeeter. Arrow is coming. It's going to fully hit onto Malrine. He's in a lot of trouble now. Vacuum onto 3. Where's the follow-up? LSA into the dagger, but the cold embrace is keeping Malrine alive. Hookshot on the other side. They get the stun connection onto Jin-Q as now a curse coming out onto 2. The Spectre beating the shit out of his teammate as the power shot from Mars is going to be enough to take out Y. XM now getting gone and gets pushed back. Beautiful cogs from Crit. They isolate the Lina. Double kill for Amar. 3 kills overall in favor of Falcons.
Oh, Falcons will happily oblige to that play. If you're Vici, look at their cooldowns. Wall only came up now after the fight. Haunt is still on cooldown. Definitely overplaying their hand there, but that's a Falcon special. They kind of toy around with you. They bait you to overstep ever so slightly, baiting you into their own observer ward, and that should just be a free Roche for them.
Absolutely. The Falcons were looking on the back foot a bit until that moment.
Unless Shiro wants to Haunt, pull an inner collapse, fear them, and steal the Aegis.
Yeah, that would be a dream.
Not quite. Collapse not in the building.
I mean, that's a big reason that Falcons won the fight. They did not have Haunt.
Yeah, or Wall for that matter. Like, look at it. You're definitely, this is an overplay. But nice curse here also from Snake King in a moment to make a little bit more time here. And XM, that is a maniac Lincoln, if I may say so.
And when you're confident, you're confident.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful curse as well from Snake King. This excellent execution for Falcons and Vici. It just felt like a cooldown-related issue, which I guess maybe that's the game plan from Falcons. You get into an initial fight, you make them use these big long cooldowns, you back away, you reset, you go in before they're up again.
That is definitely one thing you can do, right? You're playing against Wall and the Haunt, as Y finding himself a very nice spot here in the trees. Will now spot them on his own ward in the jungle.
Snake King spotted out, instantly killed. Try to turn this around onto Skeeter as well as the Haunt comes out. With the Shivas, nice vacuum onto Skeeter in the tree line. Gets the Spectral Dagger applied as well as the Mortimer's Kiss. Is not going to be doing that much this time around. And kind of isolate the Tusk, though, as he's completely stun locked here. As we get back into the game. We're back. As Amar with the BKB going to focus fire. The Shiro Spectre gets to the low ground, though, and should exit the fight gracefully. The Jin-Q dies. It's just simply a 1-for-1 support for support, but it's not over yet. They find the kill onto Amar. The wall was still available. Yep. That's 90 seconds without the Windrunner.
Bak is coming in kind of clutch right now with his hexes, as there's so many split fights going on. Like, we see Amar on all the way on the right side, like fighting off the Shiro Spectre with his BKB, with the Satanic, but then he kind of finds himself out of position because his bros were chasing Jin-Q, taking up all the attention.
All right, what items are we getting close to here? I mean, the Aegis, what, we have 2.5 minutes left. So for Skeeter, Daedalus, he has enough. He has 6K. Question is, does he want to keep for buyback?
Nah, he will. I mean, at this point, because you have Aegis, there's one of two ways. You could either upgrade your Blink into a Swift Blink, because you have Aegis to like kind of you know, not fill up that slot. It will be a Daedalus later. Maybe the in-ears are hurting Amar. I'm not gonna lie, wearing those with the headset on top, it destroys your ears.
Yeah.
Or it could be the lights, up to you.
It's actually the lights, of course.
Okay, yeah.
Malrine, he's working on a refresher. And speaking of Amar, he has Satanic, didn't realize that, to go along with Mjolnir, BKB, Hurricane Pike, and Daedalus is on the menu. And then on the other side, the Spectre, talked about the Ags already, has Basher now, and 2K into an eventual Abyssal Blade.
Yep.
With
Will just be another way, right, to get immediately onto those heroes. And while the Ags theoretically has sounded good, I don't know if it's done that much yet. And also, like, the Basher into the Abyssal is doing something, I'll say, very similar, right? Like, if the Snap Bolt is coming out, you can just haunt on him, bash him, or Abyssal Blade him.
it's so chaotic, yeah, I don't initially see the fear coming out.
It is hard to pay like attention to. It does lower the cooldown by 20 seconds as well, which of course is quite nice.
400 AoE is pretty small though, I will
Yeah.
say. For an Aghanim, that's 4,200 gold you're spending.
Maybe we should just let them cook, you know, vacuum into the fear. Could be cool.
That's true. It's got to be perfectly executed though.
There's a couple of good items though that did come out and still are coming out for Falcons, right? Like Malrine with his refresher and 25 talent. Maybe he can then play a little slower in the fights, maybe wait out for the haunt. Because kind of at this stage, you know, the spellcasters, you're getting through this 25, 30, 35, 40 minute mark.
Yeah.
BKBs are going lower, you're getting your later talents.
XM build is so cool though. He's going E-Blade now, another item we don't get to see all too often. So we'll just be able to burst heroes down for free.
It's a full-on damage build, and he's got perfect itemization.
It's
and
funny, he's had this Lincoln's queued up for so long, he just keeps changing his mind.
He's like, next
damage,
item.
damage,
Next
damage.
item, Bach.
Hook shot onto Bach. Pops the BKB though. They're gonna try to turn this around to get the vacuum onto two. Insta-gib crit. They're not gonna go on top of Skeeter, a little bit too thick to chew on.
Some big respect on that name, even with the 5-second arrow. No haunt, of course, available. But yeah, talked about XM. He's got the 25 talent, more slow burn. He also has the catalyst. It's definitely what you want, and even more cast range. This guy was hard to catch, and now he's even harder to catch, and then an E-Blade to boot.
And there is the Daedalus for Skeeter.
His next item definitely has to be like Swift Blink or damage, like maybe an AC later could be good. You want some type of attack speed.
Yeah.
Especially against the Shivas that we have talked about.
Or you could go for the old tree volley.
Yeah.
Problem is he's in the thick of things, so not
it's
exactly
It's
the...
so difficult to use, and they have like multiple cancels, like against the Basher, a potential vacuum, the punch as well. Can we see a smoke up from Vici? They want to go aggressive here. Bottom lane is pushed in.
Yeah, crit might be the sacrifice. Gonna show himself just briefly. Obviously, Vici would love a different kill, but they'll take what they can get. Will be an easy one. Dagon claims him. So it's a full minute, actually, without crit.
They did pop the Haunt, though, so there's still like a about 50-second window where crit respawns, where Haunt is not available. And I definitely think you want to take this opportunity. And Falcons at this point, they don't even want to wait for crit to respawn. They're like, okay, we know where they are. There's no Haunt available. Let's go for a smoke.
Okay, they're gonna go for the Tormentor, so they're gonna be a bit damaged in this pursuit. They will get the shard for Jin Q, and yeah, if Falcons can catch up, this would be beautiful for them. TPs look to be relatively successful with the Moonlight Shadow covering them as well.
It's
Likely not to find anything.
It's a good read. Like, look at the map from Vici's perspective. There's been waves at the bottom tier 3 for like a minute without anyone showing their body. So just a full retreat into their base and now kind of, you know, mirroring the movement into their own top jungle. It's a nice defensive macro here by Vici Gaming. Drinking Buddy's quite nice. A little bit of another save, and the Abyssal completed on the Spectre.
Oh, wow. And Nullify. Wait, what?
Yeah, he took
got
took apart his Radiance.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
These are some great timings. Now, like, there's Aeon Discs on the Radiant side. Doesn't work anymore for Marine. The Glimmer and the Force as well for the Spectre. This is a problematic item timing for Falcons to fight into.
Are you gonna miss any parts of the Radiance?
Nah, it's fine. Like, at this point, Manta, like, whatever. You're gonna clear out waves quite fast anyway. And you've got all the gold that you need. Like, Radiance has done its job.
And there is so much magic damage that the evasion... I mean, evasion's not particularly bad this game, but...
It's quite good, right? Like, he's looking to potentially still... You can replace...
Oh, he's still going butterfly.
Yeah, you can replace your blade mail or eat the axe and then go butterfly after.
Yeah.
Definitely looking at Marine, I think, here to go big. You need his double ult with the 25 talent. It's quite nice.
Keep in mind, Shiro has bought out, so he does not have buyback even close at this point. And this is one of the best buyback heroes in the game with Haunt.
At the same time, he's a difficult hero to kill. So need to see if Falcons can kind of execute it. All that matters for Vici is that they have a good jump and insta-gib. Most likely, snaking is the best kill for them. Good positioning for now, gets the blink off.
A good read from Falcons as Vici just hunting for something as Roche a minute and a half away from knowing when he will spawn. Both sides relatively aware of where each other are. Arcane rune from Malrine into a shield rune, a double whammy.
It's not normal you see an active rune picked up at 45-59.
Yeah.
Because no one really has mid control. Neither team has an observer ward that is spotting out the runes.
I feel like this is a pretty good opportunity to fight for Falcons. You get essentially double HP on Skeeter. Maybe just showing this rune will dissuade Vici from even trying to defend. They'll pop the fortification, which is a freebie since it's the first tier 2. Looks like it will fall, though.
I mean, what's going to be on the menu for both teams is that you're going to talk about the next Roche fight, potentially some buybacks that need to be kept from either side to kind of fight into this Vici draft. We're definitely ahead in this game, right? We're talking about it, 7K net worth. Also, their heroes are quite strong, especially at this stage of the game. So if you can maybe trade the Haunt and the Wall for 1 or 2 buybacks if you're Falcons, you'd be quite happy with this. As they for now have to split up a bit.
So Amar has the focus fire kills advanced cooldown, 25 talent. Malrine has the extra Mortimer's Kisses, which who were we casting yesterday could not get to 25. It was Laurel, I think.
Yeah.
He's just stuck on level 24 for so long. Bach gonna find Crit, gets the Hex into the Laguna, into the Vacuum, into 2. Only onto 2 supports though with the illusions. The Skeeter's gonna focus on Jinkyu. Gonna pop the E on this. Crit already dead. Jinkyu gonna reset. They get the LSA connection. That's a double kill for Shiro. So both supports dead for Falcons.
That's huge. And this is one of the problems right now that Falcons are dealing with. How easy is it realistically for them to start the fight? And honestly, I think the answer is it's not easy at all.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna find another kill here. Thought they were gonna go for Roche, but Roche is not quite up yet. Skeeter's gonna have to pop the BKB in retreat. Surprised that they still want to fight here.
Jinkyu's here.
Nullifier applied now, but still the BKB about to wear off into the stun. Perfect timing into the Walrus Punch as well. The right clicks from the XM and the Dagon are enough to claim Tony as Malrine attempting to get out will TP successfully. But all the major kills going the way of Vici Gaming, and guess what? Roche just spawned.
Nice buyback as well from Jinkyu. Comes in all the way at the end of the fight to make sure that Tiny dies. And yeah, like you said, that should give them the Roche kill, which is very, very big for them. You can just see it, like, even though you're saving each other so nicely, you get a beautiful vacuum from Bach to bring them all back in. And then Shiro's Haunt. And Jinkyu is playing kind of like a madman, but he's always like separating the team during the Haunt, also jumping on the back line.
I feel like with these, we're kind of seeing that the illusions that come out from Falcons are not particularly strong. We have to hold that thought. Roche was being underway as Crit, looking for a potential steal. Goes in, he snatches the Aegis. A la Collapse, get a nice shackle from his teammate, but Amar gonna try to cover him for this second life. And Crit likely to sacrifice himself. As you can see, the Spectre just going on top of Amar. Gonna get stunned for the time being, but Amar trying to get away, getting really low. Gonna apply some pressure now to Malrine instead. The Shadow Step not gonna fully connect. Somehow Amar still alive, gets Hex though, as Bach trying to finish the job. He's gonna get out on the Windrunner. Force Staff to the north with a Blink Dagger. And then he can TP after the fact. We'll go for it as XM not gonna find him in time.
Could not quite sniff him out.
Getting away with murder here.
They stole the Aegis, and then Shiro also used a Refresher Shard to try and kill Amar. Even that didn't happen. So Falcons very nice here, kind of holding on to the game in a very good manner. But you can tell that they need some crazy executions to deal with these heroes. They have multiple ways to deal with, you know, Malrine in this late game, even though he does have a Refresher. Yeah, it's got the AoE surge now on Bach as well. And that was mobility and like surging people up in the late game is incredibly nice.
So Falcons have 2 Roche banners right now. That was the third Roche. Where's the refresher shard? Was that you?
It was used by Shiro in the fight.
Okay.
There's either a lot going on or you're not listening very well.
Both.
Okay, keep that up.
Octarine core from XM now. The full caster build almost complete. Will he go Arcane Blink is the question. The one we never get to see.
Yeah, that's like nearly a Tinker-only item. We've got a cheese in the backpack on Shiro. Maybe you want to give that to someone. I would say give it to my boy Jin Q, because he's going ham in these fights. Ham and cheese go quite well together.
So
very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice late game overall for both sides.
Oh yeah, also Bach, you know, he's holding on to the greedy enchantment, but soon you should kind of skip it. I think Refresher is the item here for the Darkseer. He's already been owning, and then you get double vacuum, double wall.
He's top net worth in the game. That's insane. Amar blinks in, immediately BKBs. He regrets his decision, it seems, as the haunt comes out.
Hex on the
Get
clock.
the Hex into the Laguna. That is good by Crit. They get the Dagger now onto Amar as well. Getting slowed to a crawl, attempting to get out. Gets Abyssal Bladed into the LSA. Windrun buys him a little bit of time, but the magic damage is too much. 2 dead for Falcons. I'm not sure what the play was there, but they get punished hard.
Yeah, I don't know either. And that was the strat. You have a block of cheese on Shiro. So he's going to be quite happy about that. But it's just for Falcons, it is very difficult for them. First of all, their ghost push and their map push on the map is worse. They don't have a real jump.
They get the break into the avalanche with the
That's a good one.
That's a lot of
Block
damage.
of cheese.
Step off the cheese. He's going to be alive for now. Getting really low, gets brought back in by the Tusk. The arrow's going to connect on the Wyvern in the meantime. The vacuum to follow. Malrine taking some damage here. Gets the cookie. Not get the connection though because of the BKB from Bach. Skeeter on the run, gets stuck inside the shards. As the double buyback from Falcons, they need to get something out of this. Get the shackle now. They get the kill on the top net worth in the game in Bach. 100 seconds does have buyback.
Looked like they could nearly even take down Shiro, but with the block of cheese, he barely got bailed out there. But very expensive. Double support buyback and Amar as well. And sure, the one on Amar matters, but being able to just... Because the supports die very easily. And here, block of cheese, very nice. Probably one of the only times I've ever seen this item have any useful impact.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just so much garbage for them to deal with, right? Like XM, he's just plowing out spells left, right, and center because there's a Darkseer vacuum wall going off. There's a Haunt Illusions that are flying around, snowball, random arrows.
Yeah, if you're Vici, you're still pretty happy with this. You do lose Bach, but you force out 2 buybacks. If you can take a fight in the next 6-7 minutes.
Yep, 6-7.
Without them. That's right.
Same with Y too. Like he's closing in on a 25 talent on Mirana. And we've seen many late game Miranas have crazy impact. We've got the Ags, 20 talent for the Starstorm, 25 talent for the multi-shot.
So close. Yeah, that's got to be one of the best 25 talents in the game. I feel like it is
Definitely.
so annoying to deal with.
Also, I didn't talk about it, but I'm surprised that Y took 100 lead attack speed over Moonlight Shadow gives evasion. Usually you take that because, first of all, it's very annoying to itemize for like 20%, but it's only during Moonlight. You don't really want to buy an MKB. I guess maybe with the quiver, you know, getting out a little more pew pew.
How many times do you think analysts go over decisions like this and it just ends up being a misclick?
It happens, but it's rare. I don't think
like
it's that
hitting
often.
1 and 2, I've done that several times.
Yeah, but you're also not a pro player.
I understand that. But they play a lot more than me, so they make more mistakes, technically.
I don't know if
You
that's
like that
how it
logic?
works. I don't know if that's how that checks
That's
out.
technically true. My former co-caster would agree with that.
Oh, yeah. Maybe
Technically
there's a
true, so
reason
that's
he's
kinda
not here. Shout out to Cinnamon.
Or TK lead for Vici. And they're going to try to pounce here. Still a ways away for Roche. Which means this is likely to become a 60-minute barn burner. A real doozy, as they say, for those neutrals.
You could play on some buybacks like we talked about earlier. For Falcons, of course, that would help you. We did see a lot of their damage, right, onto the Spectre, but the only way to make that happen is that he has to be broken out of a Silver Edge, which means you have to... It's kind of all on Skeeter. I think you have to blink in, Avalanche, then Silver Edge hit the Spectre, and pray to God that all these follow-up spells are coming through. The hook shot, the kisses.
feels like all the stars need to align to be able to do just that.
And that's
He was
one
on high
series
ground.
early.
True. Avatos, they find the Tusk, but the Yundus is going to proc. You get the Heck now onto the Tiny as Amar with the BKB. Gets the focus fired. Trying to kill off Shiro. He's taking a ton of damage here. Trying to walk it off. Gets the Abyssal Blade. Is actually trying to help him out from afar. Able to jaunt though, as they get the connection now onto Amar. Blow him up. 2 minutes on the deck. As you can see, Skeeter's just getting played around with Bach. Forcing out the BKB eventually, as he's going to get gone on. Shadow Step applied, the Dagon onto Crit. LSA not going to hit. As the Mortimer's Kiss is trying to help out Skeeter a little bit, but Bach's just going to run away. Surge is too powerful for this, and now they're going to turn this around onto the Wyvern instead. Gets the full HP, but the damage coming out from XM is way too much, as Skeeter no more BKB to work with, and they have stuns for days. Skeeter dead, 3 dead overall for Falcons, and this is going to be buildings.
That is just, it's 2 diebacks and a Tiny who doesn't even have it. They are dealing with a lot of trouble here. Like, also, Amar, he can't really kill Shiro. First of all, he still has the block of cheese barrier that's constantly, like, just on him, helping him. You don't have an MKB against the butterfly either. And without Shiro being broken, you can tell that this is a game where you are pressured. You don't usually see a play like that from Amar.
Very true. Shiro going to finish off that first set of barracks as XM heads to the south to get a second. And they have so much time to deal with. I mean, in theory, this should be mega creeps.
Marine doesn't even have any ults to play with. This is absolutely megas or even tier 4 pressure. So play it nice for now.
Shiro completely slotted now, can eat the Ags. We'll see what he gets after the fact. They probably play disciplined. Now let's see how fast they can actually take this, because
I think quite fast.
They can take the tier 4s as well.
Okay, Marine.
We're going to blade onto Malrine, able to get out. Damage done though. We'll have to wait this out as his barracks evaporate. So mega creeps for Vici, and now the pressure for the tier 4s.
I mean,
they don't know that Tiny doesn't have buyback. It's money related.
They don't push slowly. They've got the Wolf as well from Bach to, you know, give them all the damage aura.
And the final tier 4 about to go down.
Back.
Bach with the last vacuum of the game. In all likelihood, they burst down Malrine with the Dagon. He buys back Mortimer's Kisses. Ancient already exposed as they try to wait out these Mortimer's Kisses. As the Tiny will be back in 5 seconds, but that Ancient is about to explode as XM finishes the job, and Vici take game number 1.
Honest, I think just even starting from the draft, I think they had their number here. You know, against Falcons, like the first pick, Lina, it looked like quite annoying for them to deal with. Then they kind of do the reverse Uno. It's like, haha, it's going mid. We still get the Spectre. Bach also with a crazy game on the Darkseer. And I think, like, all things considered, I do feel that Falcons held on quite well to the game. But then you end up with like this off-lane Wind Ranger. It's not an easy mid-Snapfire game at all.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think this time around Falcons were just out-strategized.
And Vici played so well this game. Great to see them coming into form now so late in this tournament. XM finishes the game 19-5 on the Lina. Just an absolutely
It could be Vici specific, or it could just be because their like heroes priority have changed. Like I don't know if you found one of these drafts, if you can
Yeah,
confirm it,
against Gamer Legion, they all actually had both, but
they went Treant first, right?
Against,
Into
yes,
Clock.
against Boom Boys as well, they managed to pick it up even though Clockwork was available. So given the priority to Clockwork, gotta say, can't really blame them considering the Clockwork performances that we have seen from Crit, where he was just completely dominating the play that he did in the previous one, stealing the Aegis. On top of that, but also Division. This hero is just very annoying. It has the toolkit to completely dismantle your vision game. Like we've seen teams utilizing Rocket. Like this is a, you know, these are professional e-gamers, so there's going to be a lot of different ways that they're utilizing the hero, where they are scouting the triangle with the Rocket, making sure that if they see the camps are farmed, they immediately know where the carry is, and this is where they're going to be making the smoke move, maybe Moonlight Shadow move, but just making sure that they have the information getting from that Clockwork.
I have to answer yes to that request. I was just reading the sign. My answer is yes, my pleasure. But back to the draft. Like I'm trying to try to understand like why would Falcons switch priority, and because I feel like Treant is just a better hero. I mean, it's hard to compare Treant and Clock, but I think the stats would speak in that favor too. For some reason, I'm just not sure this is like the best trade, but my explanation could be that they're trying to keep the snaking hero open, because obviously we've seen Crit play the Clockwork, snaking can also play it. A lot of teams are running Clock position 5 also. So perhaps, you know, an Undying, because Undying is like being completely forgotten
Yep.
in this draft, like compared to the previous one, and it's been one of the most successful hero of the playoffs. Again, we go back to Yandex. This is the team that is setting the meta at this point, and they value this hero super high. So very pickable for Falcons and not really pickable anymore for Vici.
I think Ringmaster is also going to be highly contested because it was banned in the previous series, and when I was doing research for this one, I think this is the hero. I feel like this hero is... A lot of teams realize that it's super good, but I would also give it extra like 5, maybe even 10% to be picked up, because the hero just feels very... It has every single tool. It scales so well. Super strong laner, percentage-based damage, like AoE control and the team fight, plus the save. And this is a lane that you literally cannot win. Like if this is going to be the lane, like you need to start thinking about how you're going to be approaching this with the pooling, potentially getting something that can, you know, maybe sacrifice itself a little bit more in the laning stage, because this is just a nasty lane.
Listen, I think this is probably the worst lane in Dota. Like literally, if I had to choose like the two best, I was going to say stupidest, the two most
Both
stupid,
work.
I mean, it's like the two
OP, broken, yeah,
OP, broken,
Imba, anything.
Imba, whatever you want. Like laners, it's Lone Druid and Treant. And then you add both of them. I mean, Amara has decided to pick the Dawnbreaker against that lane. I have to say that I'm a little bit surprised. I hope that he has like a plan, and this is something that they've... I mean, obviously, you know, he's played versus Treant and Lone Druid a billion times over the last few weeks, because everybody's picking these heroes, and I'm sure that they've practiced. So we'll see what kind of plan they come up with. The reason why I'm a little bit worried is because there's not really the jungle fallback plan, which is what a lot of offlaners this tournament have mentioned. It's like, yeah, sure, I'm laning versus Treant, I'm laning versus SF versus Lone Druid. I don't even have the mindset of going to that lane. I'm not even showing up. I'm getting a couple levels here and there, and then I'm jungling. So, but you know, I think they're taking another approach here, because I don't think Dawnbreaker jungles efficiently. He does, but only when he gets maybe level 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
He does have to enter the lane for at least 5-6 waves, which honestly might be hard against both these heroes. So we'll have to see.
Lone Druid is sitting at just a 56% win rate, though, even though it has been so highly contested.
But
is it just because the only people that have let it through are the teams that think they can beat it and then have a plan specifically catered towards beating that?
Exactly that.
Yes.
Exactly that, and I don't know. I'm just looking at Vici's draft. I'm worried if I'm Falcons. Like these are nasty combos.
Yeah, these are very strong lanes. This is the like 1-2 combo that is very easily played. Even though we've seen like Dawnbreaker being very efficient against the Beastmaster in a sense where you have the counter initiation. Their damage between the supports and Lone Druid, it really isn't that much in a sense where these two supports can like easily move. So I want to see something for XM, even though this Beastmaster could still go to the mid lane. I feel like there's also a possibility because you're still building for the same item build. You are still getting the Helm of the Dominator / Overlord.
This is such a cool draft by Vici. Like, I think it's amazing, like the amount of synergy between these heroes. Like, also at some point when they're going to start grouping up, like with the Coddle, Locket, the heals, you know, the Helm of Dom 2, the Lone Druid. I think I'd like to see like a little bit of a different build on Lone Druid. I don't know if we're going to see it. Because obviously the classic is like Mjolnir into Ags, sure. But I think when you play versus heroes like Coddle and Beast, like that lane, if executed properly, we've seen it by BB, like it doesn't go wrong. Like the Beast will get his timings because he gets so accelerated by Coddle, both in the lane and in the early game with the stacks and whatnot. There's a player, you know, Ghost. He's probably one of the best launchers in the world. He has a different build. He always goes for diffusal early, and he plays actually very active. He just abuses. He plays the hero from minute 0, basically. He doesn't wait minute 20 when, you know, he can only play with the bear. And I think this would be the game for it, because Falcon's approach to their lineup is they're gonna up the pace, up the tempo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like this lineup, I kind of agree. I would love to maybe see something different, but this is the lineup that can just like speed things up, play for the objectives, and I would love to see XM on a hero that can play tempo. I would be okay with something like a Storm Spirit. They don't have that.
Banned.
It's banned. Okay, never mind. Just ban it out because it would also, the reason why I like Storm Spirit, not because of the matchup, but because they don't have that much control. I would love to see in this particular matchup, he could also be picking up Guardian Greaves, which would give them quite a lot of tempo as well.
It would be amazing. Like right now, Falcon's angle to not losing to the Vici draft, because I think it comes down to that. This draft is so powerful, is through Malrine. Like Ember needs to pop off. He needs to play with the supports. He's gonna have Dawnbreaker's ulti to help him out. So you have to think of this Ember Spirit running around the map with Ringmaster and Clock. Falcons, they excel at doing that. Like they move at the right places at the right time. They do it properly. They place the right ops. They de-ward the areas. So they will bring a lot of pressure. They have Amar's help also. So that combo is very deadly. Like these 3 heroes, wherever they go, they will be able to assert dominance in the early game anyway. So if XM can slow down Malrine's game by just shutting him down on the lane, making him maybe starve a little bit in XP and gold, this is how they will see their lineup come together. Because I do believe that once Vici's gaming lineup come together and they hit their timings, they're unstoppable.
How are XM's signatures looking with the Viper and the Sniper?
I think it's decent. They're not the best for their lineup in a sense, but I think shutting down this Ember to the point where he has no game, in this game in particular, I think it's worth it. I think it might pay off, even though your 5-man, you know, equilibrium is suboptimal.
It is overall last pick, of course, for Vici Gaming. So if they wanted to put that Beastmaster still mid, they can, depending on what's coming with the last pick coming out from Falcons, where we are looking for a hero for Skeeter.
I wonder how the lane goes, because honestly, Beast Coddle is such a good combo. Do you really want to break that combo? Maybe only if Beast really beats Ember mid big time, but I'm not sure it's the case anymore.
Can they put Coddle mid? If they really wanted to?
They could, but it's not great against Ember, in my opinion. I feel like mid players will select Ember when they see Coddle mid often.
Gyrocopter comes out.
Yeah, they want to have some AoE. They know that there's going to be quite a lot of extra units with the Beastmaster, with that Lone Druid Bear, like maybe Aghanim Scepter later on for Keeper of the Light. So I think this is a very good pickup. We saw Spirit having quite a lot of success, even though Hero hasn't been picked that many times. I believe 4 or 5 times so far.
It could be maybe a reason to switch the lanes, but again, I feel like they shouldn't. Something like I have a feeling that they should just commit to this Beast Coddle lane, like, and just believe that that lane, if executed properly, will do fine against anything. And anyway, this is more about once Beast gets enough levels and they have stacked. Like typically, you're not going to be using your boar on the gyro lane because it just dies to flank. You're going to be using to stack, and this is when you accelerate. And again, it's going to come down to the XM hero. Like, is Marine able to go to the Beast Triangle, contest the stacks, or is he just too shut down that he can't, and XM is protecting that instead? Yeah. So
I do think it's very cool that we heard XM talk, and there's a Slark coming out. So
I think it's a mid-Slark.
It's a mid-Slark. This is not going to be, you know, Falcons off-lane Slark. It's probably going to be, yeah, he did pick it up.
I mean, if it destroys Ember mid, which I hope it does, like, this is exactly what they need. They need to shut down the Ember, make sure that the Lone Druid comes online, the Beast comes online, play off these timings. It's gonna give them map also. Like, Slark's gonna, because if they get ahead, like, playing from behind against Slark is miserable.
Yes, and this is a lot of things that they can buff up the Slark with. This is living armor. A lot of the times this hero like really wants to push the limits. You have Keeper of the Light, like one heal could make the whole fight in his favor. Hold the locket, give him HP, give him mana. I don't know. I'm kind of digging this Slark pick.
I don't know if it works.
They were going to focus on the lanes.
I don't know if it works, to be honest, because I haven't seen it. But if it does, it's genius. So I kind of hope it does.
In theory, it should work. It should have a good laning stage. Like we've seen some of these Ember Spirits, because this is kind of the hero of the tournament. We've seen so many great performances from Ember Spirit from the mid lane. People try to shut it down, especially with Vipers, where he's really not getting much. Like, he's buying boots of speed. And you are playing against one of the best guys, if not the best guy in the world, when it comes down to adaptation, like what he wants to do from the lane, how Malrine's going to approach it. This is the guy that was playing Primal Beast in like these unfavorable matchups, kind of the master of dragging the creep waves and finding any spot on the map where he can farm. So I want to see what his approach is going to be.
I would imagine also that if his lane is that important to the success of this game for them, he might get some help coming out from the Ringmaster and the Clockwork rotating from staking.
Yeah, definitely at some point they should be helping him. But again, against Slark at nighttime, after 5 minutes, it's incredibly hard because he has just full control and full vision of what's happening. He can D-ward by himself and whatnot. I also just want to mention quickly, like, Slark Cuddle, amazing combo. Like, the Chakra on the bounces, especially when you have the Aghanims, you basically have bounce off cooldown non-stop. It's a nasty combo. We don't get to see it often, but it's very cool.
Well, a very cool game coming your way with game number 2 of this quarterfinals. Can Falcons force out game 3? We're finding out with Sunsfed and Kezu.
Thank you, Shiver. We have game number 2 about to begin. And I do have to ask, Lone Druid has looked quite stinky the last few days.
That's true.
How many times has Vici even picked it in this tournament? Do you know?
I will find that out for you because, Mr. Shannon Larkin, we've got the Lenovo Legion. So, Dota above, Mr. Vici Gaming, they haven't played Lone Druid a single time in this tournament.
Okay, well, that's a better record than most Lone Druids in this tournament so far.
They played it 2 months ago. He went 7-0-10, and they still lost. Okay, so that's not good news.
All right, let's get into the game as we have another hero that we definitely want to talk about. Stop looking at me, take me off camera immediately. Let's get into the game because the game has certainly started at this point. Certainly not paused.
Definitely not.
And we're in the game. Congratulations, everybody. We made it. Game 2, Vici up 1-0 in this best of 3 of the playoffs here at EWC. Slark has been picked as a mid laner. I am having flashbacks, PTSD.
Oh, DC,
TI6 finals where Weehaw picked it. He refuses to acknowledge they in fact picked Slark mid against Wings Gaming, who had which player? Faith Beyond. And they destroyed us because why? They picked us Slark. We picked us Slark mid. Disgusting.
How did you allow this to happen?
I think they just lost hope at that point.
It was like, it's Jover, let's RNG the last week. But the thing is, first of all, XM, I love this. I've been saying this like 8 billion times this tournament. He is the anti-mid laner. He's the FU mid player. You give me a matchup, he puts up both his middle fingers. He's like, screw you. I go mid Slark against Ember. This is not the first time he's done this. They did this 2 months ago against Aurora. Mikoto played Ember, same matchup. Last pick Slark into the Ember. He destroyed that game. Had like a 12-minute defusal. You do pretty well in the lane. You can skill the Saltwater Shiv to steal regen. You can kind of, you know, deal well with the early spam. You have better damage. You have higher armor. You know, it's kind of chilling. It is very strange, the tricore of Lone Druid, Beast Slark. It's going to be a lot of map play later on. So XM, while he's going to have a good lane, I think he's got a lot of weight on the shoulders.
All right, let's see how much regen he's going to get out of this. This level 1 currently has 7 regen. 4 of it from the Saltwater Shiv. Very strong. I mean, I did see a clip early on when this was first made where this was absurd.
Yeah, where Thompson
they nerfed the shit out of it since then, of course, and then we just don't see Slark anymore. So I'm curious to see how this works in the game, because when I would think of this ability, isn't it just better against high HP high regen targets, like a Centaur type.
No, it
They don't
does.
really have, and they have a Dawnbreaker, I guess.
No, it doesn't really matter. It's more for like your own region and your own sustainability, which is usually something that like Slark struggles with. But you can see here that he's already putting up a lot of pressure. And not just that, like also Leash is incredibly good against Ember.
True.
And we also heard them talk about it, as of course they are the studio experts. You have Slark and Coddle together, lowering the cooldown. You can pounce them multiple times. Very hard to play against.
All right, we'll see. I am thinking we're going to see a game 3, if I'm being honest. I am not a believer in Slark.
The thing is,
You feel confident, or are you just
well,
waiting to see?
I am fake hyping, but I'm also halfway believing because it is XM. First, this guy, he played in the last TI finals and then bro got kicked. What the? Why did you do that? This guy is so good. Same with Jinkyu, like, and they're now showing why they're here. So when it comes to weird mid heroes to play like this, I trust XM. If this was a different player, there's only Thompson and XM that I would have some or any faith in that they could win this game.
Okay, fair enough. That's high praise. It's high praise. We'll see how it goes.
Look at the board. Look at the Bimbo here.
Yep, that's right. Some nice micro coming out from Mr. Faith Beyond. We'll be able to get the deny of the Water Rune, but Malrine will still grab the other.
Yeah,
And
so
let's get back to this lone druid. We can talk about him for about 30 seconds, and then we won't mention him again unless
Okay,
he's
for
on
20.
the screen,
Yep.
because he won't be doing anything.
that's true.
Why has this been so unsuccessful in the tournament so far? Because coming in, it's like, oh, this is our first pick, first ban. Blah, 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 blah.
One of the
Feels like
biggest...
it's been horrendous.
Yeah, one of the biggest reasons to me is that the hero was just first picked a lot of the times, and then he ended up playing, especially into like Underlord or heroes that just really catch you out on the map all the time, or Slardars, where the game is just very difficult for you to play. But overall, I think Vici created a good draft with Lone Druid. Like the hero eventually, he doesn't really want to team fight. He wants an annoying map state where this wave is pushed in, that wave is pushed in, you can roar someone, get a kill. And Slark as well. Slark definitely abuses a good map state, especially in nighttime. You're gonna have like way better vision around the map. The only thing I'm looking for is that I think Falcon's skirmish is way better. Dawnbreaker Gyro in early mid game, like if fights break out, and also Dawn is incredibly good against Beastmaster when he overplays in an area. So it's more of like the smaller, finessey type of things that Vici need to do when it comes to map play.
Okay. They do have a good response for Roar, which is the box
Yeah.
out of Snake King. So one save for Falcons, but you're right, it's more skirmishy. You don't really have this insane burst damage coming from Falcons. It's more sustained.
Yeah, and they have a very good top lane, right? Against the Beast Coddle. Both of these are counter picks. Ringmaster, very good against Beast. Not just for the Roar that you mentioned, you also have the daggers against the Boar. The Gyro goes without saying, one of the best counters against the Beastmaster. You can just spam him out, you can kill his Boars, you always have high movement speed with your innate.
Also looking at the other side, Solar Guardian against the Beast Roar, also quite good as a pseudo counter. So should be an interesting game overall. Curious to see how it plays out. And of course, I mean, from Vici's side, their support, you talked about the Coddle, the benefit you're going to get in the lane with the axes, with Slark later on. I mean, to some degree, the bear, I guess.
Like there
It's
is
almost like a metamorphosis type of... It's basically his main spell.
Yeah,
Getting lowered cooldown.
And I think also like when I look at Vici's draft overall, like there's a lot of cool things about the Slark, but it also has, it is a volatile hero, it has to be said. And they don't have the highest damage, right? When we talk about how their three cores play together, they don't really play together. They abuse each other's map state of like the Beast, the Lone, and the Slark. And Coddle and Tree, they're like enabling heroes. They amplify if you are strong, but they don't give you all the damage. So if XM doesn't have an explosive early game and like entry into the mid game, I really think they could struggle.
I'm going to give you a little trivia question.
Okay.
It's not objective, though. It's subjective, but I'm not going to pretend that it is objective.
Let's keep that up. That's
What's
good
the
casting.
worst ultimate in the game? In Dota.
The worst old... Okay, hold that.
Think about that. The knife is going to stab Bach in the back as Skeeter applies some more pressure with that rocket barrage, and that thing is crazy good early on, and Skeeter gets first blood on the gyrocopter.
That is a pretty good one. And especially like we said, you know, Falcons want to play from ahead. They have good skirmish. They have very good collapsing ability early on. So it's a good move from Crit. They talk a lot about the 5-minute move where you can potentially go to the safe lane, then link up with your support. It also means that Amar is getting a little bit of solo XP. And to answer your question of what's the worst ult, I actually
I'm
don't know.
going to give you to the 10-minute mark. You have some time.
Well, you were going to say it's Ringmaster Wheel of Wonder. That's what you said the other day.
No, I'm not.
Okay, thank God.
I said it's a little
Oh, I know which one. Not projection.
No, that's a great one.
What? No, that
Love it.
ult is not good.
Okay, it's not the best, but there's the worst ultimate for sure.
Okay,
Gonna
you
get to
please.
that just a moment. Snake King trying to keep that.
This is fake hype. Please talk about the ult.
It's in this game. I'll give you that clue.
There's a word, what, true form?
No, what's wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
Come on, you're better than this.
There are no bad ults in this game.
You're better than this. I was having a conversation with Lacoste, and he definitely agreed with me. So I have another analyst on my side.
Yeah, I don't know what you
analyst,
guys are smoking or talking about.
I'll let you think on that a little bit. I'm gonna tease this up until the end game, of course.
Okay, we've got to pause. What is wrong with you?
There's some lag apparently.
Okay, can you tell me about the worst ult?
It's gyrocopter.
Excuse me?
It's terrible.
Okay.
It's truly bad.
All right, we're going to have this game unpaused. Skeeter, in the first 15 minutes, is going to use 3 cooldowns that will kill multiple heroes.
Oh, please.
And you're going to eat your
please.
stupid words.
First of all, flat cannon is really ultimate. Let's be true.
No.
What do you?
God.
Are
stop.
you?
You're
How
embarrassing
are you an
yourself.
analyst? This doesn't make any sense.
Black Cannon is a good spell, but it's not his ult. He's not. If it was his ult, he would max it. No? Yeah?
Kazu,
Checkmate. Checkmate.
There's no checkmate here. You're going for the rocket barrage early. all
Yes, because it's good.
right? Of course, rocket barrage is insanely.
Yeah.
Black cannon is what carries you into the game.
Oh, man.
If he didn't have his ult, you would still pick gyro occasionally. Zamar. Gonna get the start breaker, but gonna be completely nullified thanks to the fear as Amar now on the run outside, but the cogs will place inside of Shiro, and he is gonna get killed off instead. So nice turnaround coming out from Falcons. Looked like it might have been a beautiful kill for Shiro.
No, that's very
Not to
big.
be.
Especially this early on. Like, Lone Druid needs... He always wins his lane. Like, nearly always. And killing him before level 6 is kind of what you want to end up doing. Marine will put his body here into the Vici side. This is the other great thing about Gyro and him having call down. You win your lane against Beast. He can't really go for boards, which means he has to max access. Then they stack. And you can easily contest stacks.
Now Ring getting pressured a bit, but
JK.
will remnant away as he shows up in the mid lane with XM, who has the level advantage right now on the Slark mid.
Yeah.
Need to make sure everybody's aware of this.
Once he gets Diffusal, he's incredibly strong. Even already now, he's a little bit oppressive. Of course, he can. It's also quite difficult to ward against this guy early on. So very much a fitting hero for XM and the type of player that he is.
8-minute power rune about to pop. And Malrine will bot it in the bot side as XM getting chased by the homing missile.
Which is not his ultimate, of course. Very important
It's also
to
a bit
point
of
out.
an underwhelming spell as well.
Homing missile, I do agree, is not the best spell.
He has really 2 spells on him.
Okay.
They're just really strong. Malrine already using the damage rune, actually.
Yeah, easy lasted.
XM. Obviously a very survivable hero in the Slark. Anytime he's in the shadows, get a ton of regen. And I mean, I know we don't see Slark mid. Do you see Slark in any position?
Very.
Like what
no.
what itemization you looking for?
Very,
He's gonna
very.
go Diffusal first.
It's still very much the same that we used to see. It's like some Falcon Blade, Diffusal. Then some people play around. There's some Shadow Blades. There's some Aghanim Scepters that are like, I mean, Ags is nearly always core, but you also don't really want to build its second item. So when he played it last time a while ago, it was the Diffusal, Ags into then Skadi, but he had a way better of an early game. Because for now, like, even though you pick the Slark into the Ember, the matchup is quite, I mean, it's kind of, obviously you're winning, but Marine is still getting everything that he wants, which is levels, time, and a little bit of net worth. Also, insanely good neutral item on the Gyro, of course. The dagger of Mr. Ristul, 25 bonus damage. You take that on Gyro, you're an incredibly low damage hero.
Even with the ultimate, incredibly low damage hero. It's crazy.
Okay. Let's keep that up.
Soul Ring now up for Amar, and we talk about these. I mean, offlane Dawnbreaker, there's several builds you can go for, but it is Amar, so we just assume it's going to be right click, which it looks like.
You should.
Echo Saber Skeeter coming in from the south and try to get another kill onto Shiro.
Oh, here comes the
huge amount of damage coming out from one proc of that ultimate from Gyrocopter. Might as well not even cast it, for being honest. 2 kills go the way of Falcons. Unbelievable usage of the greatest ultimate in Dota. Call down. Great.
The hero died. That's all that matters. It's a good spell. This guy is a hater.
Incredible.
Man, imagine being a caster and using your voice to shit talk a good spell.
And he's
Keep up
back
that
in
energy,
lane
though. I
already.
like that energy.
Thank
That's the
you.
most energetic you've been.
Look
Let's
at that.
rewatch the damage.
Let's look at this, and
Yeah. See,
one of them hits him. Incredible.
That's living armor.
I think
armor.
he went down about 50 HP there, as we're going to see some more action this time onto Bach with a full Starbreaker from Amar.
Oh.
Illuminate trying to help out as Bach gets to kill on Malrine first, so looking really bad for Vici at the beginning of that. They'll very least get a kill. As Skeeter on the bot side kills off Shiro, and even bigger. This is 3 deaths for the Lone Druid already. It's feeling like every other Lone Druid game we've seen this tournament.
Yeah, they're kind of falling.
Shockingly.
They're falling flat. And it all started with the call down rotation, of course, from Skeeter.
It almost made me spit up my drink there.
Well,
go ahead. Sorry.
Stop drinking. And 5 seconds, of course. Biggest timing of Gyrocopter in the early game will be unlocked again as the call down will be back up. It's a good spell. You're just a hater. They buffed it. Missile slow from 50 to 60%.
They could make it global. That would make a better ultimate. I'd be okay with that.
Shout out to Bombardier from Heroes of Newerth.
That's right.
Nearly had the same spell without the slow.
Except it's even slower in projectile. See a little bit of group up here on the top side.
They did get a good counterplay up earlier, right? When Jin-Q and Bach were fighting there. Because you have the early heals from Jin-Q and also the Ash Legion shield, which allowed Bach to stand his ground, counterplay it. And they're soon unlocking the overgrowth on Y, who's one of the best Treants. Like, first of all, I think it's not that easy to see when people like pop off on Treant Protector, but when I think of Treant Protector, I think of Y and Miposhka. Like, these guys are and were so good at the overall positioning, knowing where you need to be and counterplaying the right place, right time. We should soon see XM start to be aggressive. Your first timing is usually the defusal.
That first overgrowth of the game from Y onto several members of Falcons. They're going to get the full Starbreaker combo onto Jin-Q with the whip in addition.
Probably not the best TP here from Jin-Q.
And likely the tier 1 now will go the way of Falcons.
Okay, seems like maybe Malrine is feeling himself a little bit again. You know, getting through this early game, tipping XM. But yeah, this is the first timing, you get defusal, and then the second timing is the nighttime with the defusal blade, so that will be at the 15-minute mark.
Let's see if they end up using this successfully. Skeeter gets initially gone on as the homing missile will find its mark in XM eventually. See if he just dark packs it off or not.
Scared of the call down, can't really commit on him, of course.
Really, really tough to play around that really slow ultimate.
He just 2v1'd them.
Yeah, he just killed Snake King, and now we have the Solar Guardian, so they will get the trade. Bach.
Here comes
XM. 1
XM.
versus 3, essentially, as XM comes in with the pounce. No more mana for Amar, but he is pretty quick. Dark Pack gets him out of the Searing Chains, but not fast enough.
Okay, still hasn't been able to do that much yet. Of course, some pressure, forcing Amar out of the lane, doesn't have the ult yet. Need to see when the 15-minute mark comes around. I don't mind if he does end up going for the Shadow Blade here. I think sometimes, you know, going this early Ags, it's still not that easy to catch people. You know, it's not really the same it used to be. I think the Shadow Blade will help you apply a little bit more pressure and also allow you to scale and have a bit more attack speed.
I mean, if he does get off to a good start, which has yet to be seen, he's 0-0 and 0 on XM.
Excuse me, he has a Ghost Scepter first item. All right, this is the anti-Slark item.
He's really respecting that mid-slug. And hey, if you're forcing him to get a Ghost Scepter, I think you take that any day of the week. You could always upgrade to Disperser eventually just to completely nullify that.
You can be happy about that as the Slark, but at the same time, it is quite good against the other 2 cores. And it will allow Malrine to play quite aggressive. And I think for their draft, it's actually very important. When you're Dawnbreaker, you're not looking to like make moves first. You rely on your team to go in, be aggressive. And if this is what allows Malrine to kind of play over this matchup anyway, I love it. It also gives you some stats, which is nice.
Shrine's being taken now. Only from Jin-Q so far, as we have a smoke from Falcons. Obviously would love to kill XM in that mid lane. Still a difficult one even at this stage of the game.
He's ultra difficult to kill. Like, how do you even do it? Hookshot Cogs into Wheel of Wonder.
Spotted. They're going to get the dust on him as well. Into the bowling, into Skeeter's Rocket Barrage.
See you later.
Easy cleanup for Falcons. Is the Echo Saber now complete for Amar? Now some pressure to this tier 1 mid. Malrine use the Searing Chains to start things out. As the rest of Falcons on the way. Vici, not sure if they're going to try to stay here. Malrine taking a ton of damage. The whip's going to keep Vici at bay. Tower is going to get denied from Malrine. Very even game to start things out.
And Bach's been having very good games, right? Like first the Darkseer game, sure the early game wasn't incredible, but he was up against a hard lane. He's top net ref on the Beast, getting some solo kills, top tier 1 taken, mid tier 1 taken. Very good timing on the Overlord. Of course, a lot of this is because of Jin-Q with the Coddles, the stacks, the Chakra Magic injection.
The fact that it's 9-2 Falcons and still even, is that good news for Vici?
I would say that they are pretty happy with what's going on, right? Especially now, this is one of the stronger timings for XM. Nighttime plus the Diffusal for you. And Jiro has been having a very quiet early game, probably too quiet, at least when we look at his net worth. 5.8k.
Oh, why? Go for a massive overgrowth here if he had some vision. This Falcons gonna group up maybe for this tier 1. Y gets hit by a knife or two. Snake King spots him with the sentry, but now outside of it. Treant, always such an annoying hero to play against. Mallory gonna pop the Ghost Scepter to XM. Gets initiated on by Crit, but the Dark Pack keeps him safe. Meanwhile, the Treant does get off the overgrowth, trying to walk away. Is he actually gonna find the distance? Hammer does hit, and that'll be the end of the tree for now.
And this is what I mean with Y. Like, we watched him walk around for like 50 seconds where he's giving full vision, defending his tower. Pounce onto Malrine.
XM taking the brunt of the damage here. They get off the roar, but there's the box to counter. We talked about that pre-game. As XM's ult keeps him safe for the time being. And Skeeter gonna try for a little bit of turnaround here, especially with that Solar Guardian and the Wheel of Wonder to top it as Bach gets off some axes. Searing Chain's not gonna hit. Illuminate though.
They're getting kited.
That is the death of Amar. Big kill from Vici. Very long, drawn-out fight. Ends up in the death of the offlaner. Snake King TPs, but the axes assassinate him from the fog. Nicely done from Bach.
Just good kiting in this fight. Like, there's a little bit of an overplay from Falcons. You TP in, you get off a good roar. And they're just constantly playing with XM in the front lines. There's Illuminate heals coming around. He's getting Living Armored in the middle of the fight. Holy Locket as well. And they do need to play fights like that. You need them to be semi-drawn out because they don't have the craziest, like, damage when it all starts. But look, like, just a full heal onto XM from Jin-Q there.
Yeah, it felt like a lot connected there for Falcons, but they just didn't have the damage to finish the job.
Then
nice read here from Faith Beyond.
Yeah, this is big because remember that all of these fights, like Jiro, he doesn't really have to do anything. He's just playing his little Lone Druid minigame. Get your items, get your Aghanim Scepter, keep helping your team with how the map is played overall.
Wow, the fact that they can potentially get Roche without the Lone Druid involved at all.
Can they really?
Huge.
Okay,
now,
so here's the early rocket. Blink Rush also from Crit already has it.
Are they actually going to commit for this? Y in the area, ready
Crazy
to block
good
this
positioning.
smoke. Snake King and Crit trying to contest. Snake King already popped. He gets in again with the hook shot, but not able to steal it this time around. Good attempt from Crit, but it's going to cost him his life. And now Snake King on the high ground gets overgrowth. Will box himself, but that provides a little bit of extra time for Snake King to get chased down by the likes of the Slark. Double kill for XM. Weird ass pick, but it's working out so far.
He's cooking. Seems like that was a skill issue many years ago in DC when you guys picked the Slark. No, they are owning. Defiant Shell as well. Very good on Slark, of course. You get some return hits. Get another Essence Shift stack yourself. Now he's got Shadow Blade with the Nighttime still a little bit available. And Aegis is, yeah, on your hands. You're 4k gold up without having needed your carry at all.
How much damage can they get done with this Aegis? Keep in mind, this is not the carry. The Lone Druid is supposed to be the carry, and now all the space created, even just obtaining the Aegis in general, just buys extra time for Lone Druid to farm. And he is 300. Okay, never mind. That's bad math. 1,300, 1,500 away from the X.
Let's keep mentioning numbers. Very good. NA math.
Well, it's weird that the point booster is in this position. Usually it's first out of the Ags coming out.
He's just bought the other two parts already. He's going for a bit of a different build. Bach going for another solo play.
A Solar Guardian onto the Black Dragon. Amar is going to live. Bach actually, if he had the vision we had, he would have just stuck around and killed him. There's XM. Malrine and company knowing that he has his Aegis, of course. XM just going to get healed up. Have to be wary of this call down. Very powerful ultimate, according to one of the best analysts in Dota, quote unquote.
Yeah, one of the worst ultimates, according to one of the best casters, quote unquote.
That's right. Crit gets the hook shot off, but the Dark Pact is always there for XM, and he is looking really good.
Okay, this mid Slark being buffed up by Jin-Q's Caudal with the Holy Locket Force and the max living armor he's a big problem. And this is without, again, Lone Druid hasn't been in the game yet. Bach is having an exceptional game on the Beast. Like, usually Dawn is a counter to Beast. When you meet up 1v1, you know, you can kind of stand your ground. If Beast goes for any place, you counterplay it. But he's the one that's taking over areas. Like, look at where Falcons are playing. Gyro is farming very defensively up top. Dawn is farming super defensively down bottom. And they're taking back barely any space in their own jungle.
Vici going to take this extra space to take out the first Tormentor of the game.
They'll get themselves quite a good gold lead. And these are some good shards. You get either the 3-1 for Bitmap map play, rockets.
Oh, not quite in time. Jinkyu will get the double solar bind,
and
whatever it's called.
Yeah, and even more heal from the Illuminate. So this matters quite a lot. It was already difficult to kill these Radiant heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about, usually we don't see the Maelstrom into Aghanims. It's always like a Mjolnir that goes into it. So a little bit different for Shiro here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, crit spotted, but blinks out. So showing off that blink dagger. Snake King gonna be able to steal the Wisdom Shrine as Jinkyu will
do the same.
Follow suit on the other side.
Tower is under attack.
Let's see if Falcons can find a way to like, either fight back or slow down this net worth lead here.
Are fortified.
But Vici, they've been very impressive, right? Like, first of all, getting to the stage, beating 1W, taking them out of the entire tournament.
Yeah, that was surprising.
And of course, cannot be understated that most of these players have played or won a TI final outside of Shiro.
Or hookshot to come in and try to save him. The Snake King's already dead. They're going to get the clockwork as well. So double kill for Faith Beyond. He is owning in addition to the Slark. And remember, this is with Lone Druid not existing currently, and he eventually will if given enough time. 8K lead for Vici.
They are pretty much 4v5ing. And I think Marine's build, he's had a Vessel for a while. I don't know if he's had a single charge on it this entire game. They're not really just not finding any moves. Amar with an early Shiva's Guard. Not an item you ever see second.
Wow.
On Dawn. Sure, it gives you a bit of AoE effect. You get a lot of armor. Most importantly, perhaps the attack speed. And the AoE damage plus slow, of course.
Echo Saber Shivas. There's something looks wrong about this.
Because this has never been done before. That's
Ever
why.
in the history of Dota?
I believe so.
Wow.
I think if we're looking at the stats, people can correct me, but Echo Shiva that's not a build. Potentially it is a build, and it just speaks for this type of game where you're cornered. Like, Gold Scepter, first item on Ember is also not really a build.
I'm sure a Herald has done it before.
Yeah, who cares about those guys? They don't
That's not
matter.
very nice. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people, but generally that's
Why
not
do you
worth where
cater to
item
the
builds
top
come from.
1%, huh? What's wrong with you?
That's
What
what,
about the
we're,
rest
that's
of
what
us?
we're looking at. I'm
about-
not casting a Herald game.
What about the rest of us?
Get Jenkins up here. He'll
Right.
tell you about the Herald.
BKB now up for XM as his game continues to progress pretty damn nicely. And of course, this is a hero that scales crazy in the late game.
Oh, yeah. They've got a pretty good ward in the triangle, so they know that Amar walked over to the mid lane.
Yeah, Drums of Slum online as well. This is a big power spike for Vici. They've already been winning these fights.
Uh-oh, hello.
Amar spotted, tries to get off the hammer, but the roar finds him, and that's going to be another death for Amar. Malrain has to try to remnant away. Put in a bit of a weird spot here. Gonna get feared up. Do they have actually the connection?
That's
Do
not
they have
good.
the damage? Is gonna be close. Yes! Wrong place again for Malrain, and off the back of it, Vici get a tier 2 tower, and why not keep pushing?
Yo, these guys are good. They're just going straight for the high ground, minute 23. This is one of the best plays I've seen from a Chinese team since maybe last TI of Extreme Gaming. They are very convincing here in this entire series.
Not gonna force the issue. Not gonna get too greedy. Playing discipline here. They forced out the fortification. 11K lead for Vici. The fact that they aligned with these 3 big items, and now we're gonna see the disperser next for XM. So that Ghost Scepter is not gonna do shit.
Absolutely not. I mean, already now, it's kind of just delaying one of the things that are happening. Okay, let's look at Skeeter. So he wants to go Satanic next, which, yeah, it helps you stay alive, but they've got damage problems. This Caudal Treant, like, dual support combo with, like, 3 beefy cores, it's really not that easy to, like, punch into.
You know, I think the big power spike for Falcons when they get level 3 on the call down.
I knew you would say that. I knew you would say that.
There ain't no coming back from that as Malrain.
If Gyro had an Aghanims that made call down twice as good, they could win with that one.
Yeah, maybe.
Sadly for them, it's a side gunner.
Yeah, that's, again, side gunner slash flat cannon is the real spell for Gyro.
It's done a lot this game.
XM. Looking for the pounce target.
Nighttime, baby.
Indeed, opens it up onto Snake King. They get the box off. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes for Nullifier at some point as well. The box is the only annoyance for Vici.
I really like, at least strategically, what Vici have created in Game 1 and Game 2. Like, Game 1, you had a lot of like this overall map play. You're kind of owning them with like Moonlight, Shadow, Spectre. I think even here, it's a bit similar, right? You have a lot of summons, Ghost Push, but also this one guy who's stopping
Oh, Amar again might get caught out. Another roar to his name. Do they have the box nearby? Snake King trying for it. Finally gets it off to the last moment. Meanwhile, on the other side, Why taking the brunt of the damage. Shiro is actually doing a lot, and a gyrocopter is Skeeter about to fall just to the bear. Eventually, Bach does fall to Malrine, so a 2-for-2 exchange to start this out, but XM is still up and running. Crit on the cliff, dead shortly after. Double kill for Shiro, who has finally entered the game, and again, we talked about it all game long. They've been winning this game with 2 cores, and now the third has entered to play.
Yeah, right place, right time. Definitely needed him in this fight because Falcons had a pretty good angle to counterplay there. Crit with an incredibly quick hook. But this is a 15k lead. They're knocking on your high ground, minute 26.
Yeah, there's no fortification either. So when you look at the replay,
it's just so difficult, right? It's nighttime. They see everything. There's summons around. And just great positioning and also great patience. If you look at Y, look at the back. Double overgrowth with Shiro just getting to hit into everybody.
Yeah, that was the Blink Dagger reveal for the tree. So Bach does die, but it's at a heavy cost yet again for Falcons.
You know, I thought this series would maybe go the distance, but at this point, Vici they're really putting in the work in this game.
We're the 2-0 masters.
Somehow we are.
I mean, if I was going to pick a 2-0 to start the series, it would have been Falcons, actually.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Vici have been pretty, I mean, at this tournament they've been good, but generally speaking, they've been quite inconsistent. But powering up at the right time of a tournament is nothing to scoff at. This is how you win.
Yeah, but this
Take
is also...
notes, Kazu.
Oh, yeah, that's very useful for me. I'll go play again next month, of course.
And once you realize this gyro ult is garbage.
Yeah, that will be the return of my career.
That's right. So it's been holding you back this whole time.
Yeah, thinking that gyro ult is good. I never liked that hero. He's good when you can like play off his tempo. And there's a world where Falcons could have still done that. I feel like in like
now you're not liking the hero after all this talk, huh?
We only talk about call down. Stop mixing my words. You should go into politics.
I don't think I'm racist enough for that. As we get into the pit for Vici Gaming.
Well, somehow you found a way to use that word in a cast.
Comes out. And yeah, Falcons are going to have to try to do something, but you can see Vici are aware of this, and they're going to wrap around instead. XM going to lead the way. Still nighttime. Snake King
got Aghanim
spotted. Boxes himself, which means he won't have it for a potential core. There's the roar onto the gyrocopter. Solar Guardian to follow the Wheel of Wonder right on top of them, though. Do they have the damage to take out Bach? It's getting close. The Illuminate heals him quite a bit. Finally popping the BKB, and now XM they get the pounce onto the gyrocopter as Skeeter falls. First core down for Falcons. And Ember Spirit, Malrine trying to take out Jin Q, but it's just the support at the end of the day. The Urn Charge, the living armor keeping him alive. Gets off the blinding light as well as Malrine slow to a crawl now. Bad pounce from XM, it matters not as Amar barely gets out, but Shiro, meanwhile, just hitting buildings on the other side.
Yeah, and they're losing racks at the same time. Oh, Falcons, they're in such big trouble for this game. Because that fight wasn't even that bad for them to begin with. Vici went very deep, but you can just see all the backup that they have. Multiple heals.
2 sets minimum.
I think XM is also getting the shard on Slug. Like, he already has the Aghanim for the double pounce. The shard is coming, which is another added save.
Okay, minimum 1 set of racks is what I said, of course.
Yeah.
I like this play, though. Vici playing it very safe. We've seen so many times before, especially, honestly, Chinese teams are very notorious for this in the last couple of years, where they'll stick around a little bit too long and get punished extremely hard, especially when an objective like Roche is available. They'll get this for free. It makes closing the game out that much easier.
And even Amar, like, if you look at some of their, like, the item builds, they're really cornered. Trying to look for crit, of course, to not give him an opportunity to steal the Aegis.
Yep, XM's going to show up, and that's when the damage arrives. Going to be dead right outside his own cogs. Oh, a good attempt.
Yeah.
Did he take anything, Malrine?
Was close. Went
He had
for
an open slot. That would have been sick, but Bach gets the Aegis instead.
The only comeback I see for Falcons is a completed Daedalus on Skeeter, and maybe if you get the time, you go for a Divine. I think you have to play for an all-in play at this point. You're down a lane of racks. You're playing against Lone Druid Aghanims and 3 top network cores. It's the only way I see for them back in this game.
And even then, I don't think that's going to be enough.
Well, if that isn't enough, then I've got bad news for
Maybe
them.
double Divine.
And let's see if they can make any type of space.
Farm that up. So Aegis, we'll see if Vici are waiting for any items coming out that would make a difference here. Disperser is still a ways away. I'm not sure if they want to wait that long. AC also a bit of a wait.
Yeah, I don't think they have to really wait for anything. They could just continue to play on the map is pushed in, we find a pickoff, we find a poke. They also have a potential to place a banner on, you know, one of the waves with the double siege waves if they want to. Because you do have Aegis. I think you're very far ahead. If you want to play super safe, you could wait for nighttime. I don't really see why you would have to do that. Because even in daytime, you're incredibly strong.
Now the bear shows himself. Skeeter has to skitter away.
Very good.
And maybe they are waiting for this next item round. I mean, now that they've waited this long, Bach is 500 away from AC.
At this point, you
that
can
should
definitely
align with the disperser close enough.
Yeah, you can definitely wait for the AC at this point. Why? He's scouting out Melreen here.
Does he have anything?
There's the bear.
Right into the bear. Gonna get the root off as well, but the box is there to save him. As a remnant in addition, but he gets pounced on, and he gets killed off. Another death from Melreen. A minute on the deck as the Wheel of Wonder coming down. The Skeeter has to run away as XM is going to focus on Amar instead with that BKB.
Nice
super
overgrowth.
safe. The overgrowth on the 3 heroes with the Illuminate. They're going to kill the Gyrocopter right in their own base. Snake King trying to get out, but it's not happening for the rest of his cores. As Amar, I believe this was a buyback, so now a dieback for him as they're just going to call
GG.
GG's for Vici as they continue on to EWC and Falcons eliminated.
That's a beyond godlike for XM. And honestly, I beg the question, how did any team ever kick out XM and Jinkyu from their roster? Like, XM alone in this game with both supports just taking over the entire early game. Same with Bach with an incredibly hard lane, getting solo kills here, being top on the network. And again, this is single elim. This is Falcons out at EWC.
This was a sick performance. I was not a believer. I have reason to not be a believer.
Sure.
Many years of pain and suffering.
Personal
mid lane,
experience.
Weehaw, Slark mid, but Faith Beyond was on the other team, and maybe he learned a little something from that. Kazu, and they turn around here.
Took like 10 years to tinker around and then make it work.
Just needed the right changes on the Slark, but I have to say, this is a very memorable performance for XM. Yes. I'm going to remember this one specifically. 10-0 on a Slark mid. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. That's insane.
And this is what I love about not just the best teams, but the best players. They will find ways to make the game different. You know, you find a specific pick or a specific build, and it is just not normal to see a mid Slark. And this is what the best players do. You don't just get to play on autopilot. You're playing a different game. Suddenly you're playing XM Slark game with the Jinkyu caller backing him up, the Treant Protector as well, and Falcons.
And remember this call down, that is something to remember as well. Just the massive damage coming out was enough to kill off Shiro. Without
That was a double kill.
Incredible display.
Still hating. At this point, it's just, yeah, Vici. This is one of the better performances that I have seen, rightfully so. I think all of them just kind of owning from start to finish. You know why? Superb positioning, good overgrowth. And yeah, this one's got a sting. The Falcons had a big break. Maybe that also worked against them, right? With the format, not playing for, what was it, 5 days, 6 days? Yeah. Vici, they just looked hot and in form.
Yeah, single elimination. I love single elimination.
As a viewer, definitely.
It is incredible for the viewer experience, and we're seeing now why. I mean, we've had already a couple upsets the other day and another one here. I mean, in theory, an upset. Falcons, a very storied franchise in their brief history. This team has been around. Just the players alone have been around for a very long time together, more so than any team in recent history. But Vici getting the better of them, and it's off of a Slark mid. Just incredible. Just a ridiculous display.
But it is just like this is a characteristic of XM, and they're so good on Vici.
Now let's go to the interview on the main stage.
Thank you so much, everybody. You know who I had to grab, ladies and gentlemen, XM! A absolutely incredible performance here with Jin as well for the translation. Thank you, Jin. Falcons had 5 days to prep for this. They've been watching all your games. They've been just sitting in their little hotel room relaxing. And you guys that come out and 2-0 their asses. Were you expecting it to be that easy?
那毛神就第一个问题想问你，因为法老战队相当于有5天的休息时间，他们在他们酒店里面看你们的回放，做他们的功课，结果到这个舞台上了之后，你们直接2-0速通了他们。你当时有想到会有这样的一种结果吗？
有想到，因为感觉他们休息太久了，我们手感正热。
Definitely, this was the result that we expected because 5 days is a huge break. It's a very long break, and our hands are red hot while theirs are not.
All right, you could tell those hands were red hot, absolutely, especially on your Lina in game 1. Incredible performance. I gotta ask about the Dagon though. Was that more for damage? Was that more for cast range? What was the thinking, and have you done it before?
那么第一把你拿出了你那个火女，然后你出了一个5级大根，就想问你这个大根当时出的思路会是什么呢？是为了这个输出和补一手输出，还是说为了这个施法距离，还是怎么呢？大概跟我们说一下嘛。
因为这个出装就是从抖音教学上看到的，感觉还挺适合的，就自己思考了一下，感觉它的那个属性都挺适合丽娜的，找到这把感觉挺适合就出了。
I actually learned that item build from TikTok.
From TikTok?
Like I was just watching those shorts and I was like, okay, this kind of works. And when I looked at the lineup that draft, I was like, you know what, this item build, I think it works here, and it clearly did.
You have ruined so many pubs from that. Thank you so much. So much TikTok will be made with the worst builds in the world. All right, anyway, let's move on to Slark. This was super exciting to watch. Slark mid, incredible. Who's making these calls? Was it you saying, give me that Slark, or was it the coach?
那当时第2把你们选出这个中单小鱼，这个小鱼也是发挥的非常非常棒。能跟我们大概说一下你们当时选最后一手英雄的时候，这个小鱼是你提出来的呢，还是你们教练，还是怎么样的一种队内讨论？
就是我的小鱼一直是用来打火猫的嘛，然后当时我也在纠结，然后就是心情玩的光法，他觉得小鱼很好用，然后我就相信他选了小鱼。
Slug has always been my weapon against Ember Spirit, and I kind of wanted a hero, but it was still a bit of discussion within the team.
Sure.
And then Jinkyo was like, you know what, I'm Kodo. I can feed mana to Slug, and I think Slug would be a pretty good pick here. So we trusted Jinkyo's decision, and we went for the Slug.
Fantastic. All right, last question then. After destroying such a strong team like Falcons, can we finally say that Chinese Dota is back?
那你们摧毁了法老这种强队之后呢？我们现在能不能宣布一下说，西恩多塔回来了呢？
可以，西恩多塔回来了。
Absolutely, Chinese Dota is back.
Let's go! All right. Well, speaking of back, let's get the team up here, boys. Come on up. Come on up.
过来。
Here at EWC, we have something to do. Not only did you destroy Falcons in the game, it's time to destroy their spirits, my friends. It is time to crush their keys. Let's head back there and head to the crusher. Now, Jin, I gotta ask him, who wants to have the honor of crushing Falcons?
那么你们现在成功了击败了法老战队之后，还有最后一个环节，就是你们要把他们的钥匙也给碾碎。那你们当中谁会得到这个荣耀去碾碎这个钥匙呢
Come on, boys. Talk about it while we're walking. Let's go. Let's go.
大哥，
Oh, Buck, you're going for it?
Yeah, because I'm 4-3 and you know I shake hand with Amar, so I have to do it.
All right, that's an honorable thing. Friends with Amar. If he's gonna go down, it might as well go down from a friend. Please take your position. Gentlemen, gather around, watch your Falcons go down. The club champions are about to get crushed. Here we go. Stone Cold. Yeah, baby. Oh, he's going deep. Oh, that's too deep. I love it. Fantastic. Let's bring it out. It is time for you. He took the whole thing. He destroyed Falcons so much they're in the tournament. By God almighty, he killed him. Bring it out. Goodness gracious. Buck, you gotta take it easy, bro. Take it easy. Go ahead, show the camera. Do you approve? Is it destroyed enough?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's throw it back to our panel and let them talk about that incredible series. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Vici Gaming guaranteed top 4 here at EWC for Dota 2. They have eliminated Team Falcons here on the main stage and in quite the fashion indeed. I'm here at Lacoste.